Welcome to day 20 of my WPT coverage, as well as all things Vegas poker in December. I'm Sherry Pluskota. I'm happy you're joining me live or listening at a future time. I appreciate you and thank you. Welcome, Donna Morton. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I've got Caitlin here and I've just brought her back home and all she's doing is balancing.
Hey, Caitlin. Hope you are well.
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Ready for some craziness?
Yeah.
She wants to buy a coffin.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. All right, let's get the business out of the way so we can get back onto the fun. Many thanks to my sponsor, Elevator Results. If you need to lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results will design a plan for you. Check them out on Twitter or at their site on elevatorresultspt.com. Just a reminder, you can find the recordings of my past spaces on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. Please subscribe. Trying to build that channel in hopes of doing some other stuff in the future. As I mentioned the last couple days, today is going to be my last WPT daily coverage, unless I happen to get a bug because I realize there's one more tournament tomorrow that's starting, and probably a day two or of a tournament or so. So, unless I get a bug, today will be the last day. Unless I decide to do a wrap up space tomorrow. I doubt it just because this is day 20 and it's Christmas week and I have a lot going on. So, but don't be surprised if that happens to pop up. A little depressed this morning because my Tennessee Vols basically shit the bed yesterday in the first round of the college playoffs. And it was quite an embarrassment. And it was very hard to watch because we are a way better team than we showed yesterday. So, very disappointed in my Tennessee Vols. And it's going to be a while before I can watch another college football game. Just saying. Um, yeah, that's yesterday was a tough one for me. So let's move on to some of the things that are happening around Vegas today. And Donna, why don't we start with South Point?
Of course, I've got South Point up and ready. So Sunday's daily tournaments at South Point Poker is the 1005 $100 no limit guarantee, which is no limit hold'em, sorry, which is $7,500 guarantee. The 6:05 p.m. $150 no limit hold'em bounty, which is a $50 bounty, which is also a $7,500 guarantee, and the 10:05 p.m., which is the 100 no limit turbo 2,000 guarantee. But today they've done a tweet 57 minutes ago, and they said we will be giving money away all day with our big money games promotion. The following games will be featured at South Point. The 10 a.m. is the Eagles versus the Commanders.
Redskins.
125.
Wait a minute. Stop. Redskins. Go ahead.
Okay, well, whatever. I don't know. I
No,
don't know
no, no,
about
no,
over there.
no, no, no. You said it correctly, but some morons decided to fight to change the name from Redskins to the Commanders,
Oh
and
no!
and some of
I
the
prefer the Redskins.
and some
Always
of
have
the
done.
and it was a tribute and an honor to name a team after the the Native Americans, and now
Of
the
course it was.
Native Americans have been battling to get the name back, so they're going back to
Oh,
Redskins. So that's why I'm making the correction. You are absolutely correct that they are the Commanders, but I just have to point out that political correctness bullshit is being reversed. So go ahead, Donna. Sorry.
right. Eagles versus Redskins, so screw you.
Right on, sister.
Redskins forever. 1:25 p.m. is the Jaguars versus Raiders, and 5:20 p.m. is the Buccaneers versus the Cowboys. So there you go. That's the South Point wrap up for today.
Well, thank you for those updates, and go Redskins. Anyway, let's go on with what else is going on in Vegas in December as far as poker is concerned with the Aria at 11 o'clock today. $800 mystery bounty, 100K guarantee, 30K starting stack, 30-minute blinds. This is the last event of the Aria Open. So, and they've been doing a great job, and they've been giving away swag to the winners. And those Aria hoodies are are something that everyone is seeking. So, they're very nice hoodies. So congrats to the folks over at the Aria that are doing a great job and, under the leadership of Sean and many others. So congrats to them on a great series over at the Aria. Over at the Orleans, today is the last day of the Orleans Winter Open at 11:05. There's a $200 no limit Sunday special. It's a $65,000 guarantee, 25K starting stack with 30-minute blinds. At 6:05 p.m. is a $200 super stack tournament at the Orleans, 15K guarantee, 25K starting stack, 20-minute blinds. Over at the Venetian today, there is an 11:10 event number 55, which is a $600 no limit, 200K guarantee, 40K starting stack, 40-minute blinds. At 6:10 p.m. at the Venetian is event number 55, which is a $200 bounty tournament, 10K guarantee, 25K starting stack with 30-minute blinds. Over at the WPT today, there is a lot going on. And unfortunately, they haven't been very good about the updates. So I have no idea how many people are moving on to the next, to the day twos or threes. And quite honestly, any information I've been trying to put together about the WPT, I have to go to like 6 different places to get the bare minimum information that I'm even able to compile on a daily basis. So I know they've been making some changes as far as the coverage is concerned. So maybe next year or the next series with the WPT, some of those glitches or whatever will be worked out. But it's really hard to track down the information. I looked about a minute before I went on air to see if on the WPT's Win site, if they had the updates for today, and they did not. And so we're going to go with just the schedule for today and bare minimum as far as info. Sorry, folks. At 11 o'clock, day 3 of the seniors high roller event number 35 will begin at 11 a.m. At 12 p.m., day 2 of the '08 championship event number 40. Also at 12 o'clock, day 2 of the Mystery Bounty, event number 34. At 1 p.m. at the Win WPT event number 42, the $1,100 no limit, 200K guarantee, 25K starting stack, 30-minute blinds will kick off. Also at 1 p.m. is event number 43. It's a $10,500 buy-in, no limit, 8 max tournament, no guarantee listed. There is a $400 early bird discount if you register early. 100K starting stack, 30-minute blinds. At 1 p.m., event number 44 will kick off, and that's a $600 OE event, 50K guarantee, 25K starting stack, 30-minute blinds. At 5 p.m., event number 45 kicks off, and that's a $600 5-card PLO tournament, 50K guarantee, 25K starting stack, 30-minute blinds. As I mentioned, I thought today was going to be the last day of the WPT, but they snuck in one more tournament to start tomorrow, and that's at noon tomorrow. It's event number 46, which is a $600 no limit, 50K guarantee tournament. It has a starting stack of 25K with 30-minute blinds. So that's what's going on at the WPT today, and I'll check back in a couple of minutes to see if the site's been updated with the current information as far as who's moving on to the next day in an event. So there you go. Want to give a little shout out to Brad Owen, who won the $2,200 horse. That's with an H tournament. and took home over 60,000 in prize pool money. There were 138 entries to that tournament. So lots of good stuff happening today in Vegas, and I just want to say hello and welcome to Isaac. How are you, pal?
Good morning. I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, thanks.
Glad to hear. Glad to hear. Yeah, lucky to be up and be chilling at this time. Um, so
You guys had a
yeah.
full day with poo poo yesterday, didn't you?
Ah man, yeah, that and few other things too. There were a few games. Today there's a couple going on right now. We're trying to get a nine-handed table going real quick. Start the
Awesome.
morning off. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Just hanging out, having a lazy Sunday, which doesn't feel bad at all.
Hey, I hear you. It's been a couple of busy weeks, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. So I want to welcome John. How are you this morning, John?
Uh, I am good. It's Sunday morning. I'm on Christmas break. I'm gonna watch some football. That's it.
Who are you watching today? Who are we watching?
Oh, I don't know. I'm in my I don't like to talk about fantasy football, but I'm in the semifinals of our work league, so I'm trying to just watch everybody.
Oh, nice. Well, what does the winner get in your league? May I be so nosy?
Oh, I don't know. It's probably a couple $100. It's not really that much.
Nice. Very good. Well, good luck to you. Hope your teams do well today. Very cool. You ready for Christmas?
Yep, all done. Finished my shopping yesterday. I've been doing it online all month, and then I got picked up the last couple of things yesterday, so I'm good.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Very good. How about you, Isaac? You ready for Christmas?
Yeah, just about. I think I just maybe one or two small things today, you
Right
know,
on, right on.
like stocking stuffers or whatnot, and yeah, should be cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. How about you, Donna? You ready?
Does that answer your question?
Well, I think it might have. All right, moving right along to some winners around town. Uh, I want to shout out to Ren Lin. He took down the WPT 3K 6 Max tournament for $180,000. Congrats to Ren. Kenneth Gregory had his second win at the Aria Poker Open. He took down event number 16, which was a $600 no limit, and took home over 29,000 for that win. There were 256 entries in that tournament. Also, congratulations to Justin Young, who took 10th place in the 3K No Limit tournament over at the WPT for over $50,000. Congratulations to Mark McCloskey, who won the WPT $600 No Limit 6 Max for over $33,000. And again, there were 411 players. Last but not least on this list is Adam Hendricks, who won the 3K No Limit for over 629,000. That was 1,570 players in that field of that tournament. A little reminder: the TDA rules have been updated after we had that TDA meeting at the Poker Go Studio in June. If you download the TDA app, you will get the updated rules and regs for our poker world. So I highly suggest you do it and start looking at those because you never know when you're going to be in a situation at a poker table and you just need to know some quirky rule you may not have known. So I highly recommend you get really familiar with those rules. So uh, I appreciate the fact that they've put it into an app now. It makes it a whole lot easier to access. Donna, is there anything you want to bring up? I need to look up a winner, love.
Yeah, sorry, I was just searching for memes. Yeah, last night's final table was amazing. I didn't go out. I decided not to because like somebody was going to be there who I didn't want to see. So I watched the final table. Talk about the class of Scott was amazing.
Yeah, and let's give him a shout out. That was Scott. Oh my gosh, just as I was thinking, Scott Stewart was the champion, and he took home $2.5 million in winnings. I did catch some of that, but of course, I went to sleep kind of early. I've not been sleeping too good, so I didn't catch the end of it. But congrats to Scott. So tell me what your favorite hand was when you were watching.
I can't remember Hans. Don't ask me about Hans. But I do remember his rail saying something, and he turned around to his rail and told him to be quiet because he was in a hand with Rob, and they thought the hand was over. So he turned around and says, "Whoa, calm down. We're still in a hand." And I thought that is such great sportsmanship. We need more people like him in this poker sphere. Proper gentleman. Congratulations to Rob too for taking second place. I can't remember the third player. I'm ever so sorry about that. But congrats to Chris Morman as well, who came in fourth. But yeah, it
Eddie
was
Pack.
really, really good.
Eddie Pack from the UK was the
Okay,
third place winner, and
that's it, Eddie.
he took home 2 million. And Chris Morman was fourth place, and Chris was the chip leader 2 days ago. I think he was in second place as far as chip stacks going into yesterday. So a nice finish for Chris Morman as well. Um, and second place was Robert Sherwood. So
Yeah,
congrats to Robert Sherwood. He took home 2.5 million. So great stuff.
yeah, yeah. They did an ICM chop. Um, so Rob said, "Do you want to do ICM? Do you want to do chop?" Like, so they went on break for about 15 minutes to sort it out, and we didn't hear anything. And then all of a sudden, at the end, this is right. We'll play for some money, and it was really really a fun table to watch. It wasn't all hoodies and sunglasses, and I mean, Rob kept on making mistakes because his sunglasses, and he kept getting the chips mixed up. So yeah, there was quite a few misclicks from Rob, which was quite funny, but like it happens. Next time, Rob, take your sunglasses off, my darling.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's funny you brought up the sunglasses. I saw a tweet from Daniel Negreanu with his suggestions of changes for the TDA rules, and of course, one of them was to ban sunglasses, ban any kind of face coverings, all face coverings, and ban. There were like five or six. These are just the ones I remember, and one of them was to ban all card protectors. All right, I have an issue with that because if you've ever sat in the seat or the ninth seat, chances are you've had your card swooped up by an overzealous dealer before you even had the opportunity to look at them or take your turn and act because the cards are so close to them that they didn't even realize that you haven't even looked at your cards yet. And they're dealing the cards, they turn back, your cards are sitting there, they think you folded when in fact you haven't even looked at them yet. And that happens often in the 1 and 9th seat. It's happened to me twice. Um, and I will forever use a card protector because of that reason. Now, I use it in every seat I sit in. Why? Because I'm not going to change what I do because of a seat assignment. So I just consistently use my card protector no matter what seat I'm in. So I kind of take homage to the fact that he wants to ban card protectors. Now, I can understand if he's talking about some of these people are getting ridiculous with their car protectors. As we saw, even though it was fun during the WSOP, that one player had what, 10 or 15 rubber ducks on his rail as car protectors? Yeah. maybe it should be 2 card protectors and maybe size, maybe with a size outline, no bigger than this high, this width, whatever. But I would definitely be at that TDA meeting protesting if that was ever proposed as a rule, because I personally have had my cards swept in by an overzealous dealer, or maybe not even overzealous. Just he thought my cards were folded and they weren't. I hadn't even looked at them yet. And so now, yeah, everybody in the 1 and 9, and how many times has that been preached to us? So go ahead, John Roberts. You had something to say?
Do you want to have one of the little boxes like at the airport for luggage, so you can, if your card protector doesn't fit in the box, you can't use it?
Yes, something like that. But that would be, I can understand if he's coming to that rule change from a point of view of it's getting ridiculous. We have some major, like, big items being set on the table. And if he's coming from that angle, okay, I get it. I can jump on board with there being a size limit. I have no problem, or even an amount. You can only have 2 or whatever. But to ban them completely, no way. Because the 1 and 9 seat, it should almost be mandatory they have one. But anyway, go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, when I heard that he wanted to ban car protectors, I'm thinking, what the heck? Seriously, no. Yeah, limit car protectors, sure. But no, everybody's got a special thing with the car protectors. They could be lucky, they could think they're lucky, it's a superstition, etc., etc. Some people do go overboard with the car protectors, of course. They will, because they're pushing the limits. But to ban car protectors outright, I don't think that's right. And I don't think he's got a right to say that. He's got his opinion. But I don't think they should be banned.
Right on.
I think the bigger issue is that, like, and I like Daniel. I don't dislike Daniel, but I think the high stakes players are out of touch with like the average everyday player, and they don't think like, so all the stuff that matters to them, like, sure, at your level it probably matters, but like if you're going to the casino to play 1-3 or 2-5 or whatever, like it's just a different atmosphere. It's not the same. So like when and it goes along with something else I preach at work, like implementing a rule is way easier than getting a rule undone. So if it's a badly thought out rule and you put it in place, you're still going to have a hard time getting it undone. So I'm not a big fan of blanket bans on a variety of things. I think that like you're overstepping to fix a really a small or non-issue.
Right. And like I said, if it's coming, I get that, I've seen some car protectors that I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like, and I get it from the point of view that it's blocking the view of stacks, so your neighbors can't see, your stack, and I get it. But I think we can get around it without a clear cut band, and I am more in favor of that, because seats 1 and 9 definitely should be using a car protector. Go ahead, Isaac.
I don't know, but I think he doesn't really mean that. I've heard him make this argument before, and it all started when people were going after Isaac Haxton. And I remember he had mentioned, well, you gotta, it goes either one or two ways. You either can have everything or you can't have anything, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I haven't looked at how he's been acting lately, though, so I don't know if that's genuine.
Did Ike
But that
have
is interesting.
car protectors, or are you referring to the facial masks?
Well, it's kind of like all of that because, him saying that, like, if he's mentioning all those things he mentioned and he included car protectors, I just don't believe that that's a sincere statement from him, right?
Oh,
Especially considering the era he comes from. That's interesting. And I mean, he's not a high stakes. Well, yeah, he is. I mean, I've always seen him more as a tournament player, but he does play some cash, right?
yeah, of course.
But I don't know how hard he plays cash now versus how he did when he was much younger.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know. But if he is like going after card protectors, I feel like that's almost petty, especially for someone of his stature. That's pretty petty.
Well, like John, I think he's just kind of out of touch with us normal, ordinary people that it is a big deal when my cards are swept in. You know, it may not be for him because he could rebuy in 20 times, but it is to me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, well said.
you know,
Well, I don't even know that the card protectors for me is on the same level as hoodies and sunglasses and whatever. Like, who cares? I don't even wear any of that stuff. Like, I mean, I wear hoodies because they're comfortable, but like, I don't have my hood up when I play, and I don't wear sunglasses. And I don't, but like, I don't really care if other people do. Like, it's whatever. It's just
yeah, I don't
if
either. I'm going to be
if it
honest with
makes them
you.
comfortable, like if it makes them comfortable and feel better, then fine, okay. It makes you comfortable because then you get to the point of like, what if somebody actually needs sunglasses because they have like glaucoma or whatever, or what if, like who cares? Like
Yeah,
I don't know. I
yeah,
just don't get
I
it.
don't care about those items either. Um, the face mask I do care about, and I have 2 points of view on that. If you're wearing a face mask because you are ill, no problem. But if you're wearing a face mask to hide your tells, I have an issue with that. And if you are doing it because you're ill, then you have a correct N95 mask on, and there's no doubt that you're ill because you're wearing the proper medical mask to protect yourself. And, if you're just wearing a cloth, nylon, eighth of an inch cloth over yourself, then that's more than likely that you're trying to hide your tells. So, it's kind of a tricky, slippery slope, but I I could care less if you wear a hoodie, sunglasses, because I have friends like Donna. She gets migraine headaches, and guess what? Maybe she has a headache and needs to have sunglasses on to dim the lights. And if you're on a live feed table, those lights are bright as hell. And so, I have no problem with people wearing sunglasses at all or hoodies. I do have a problem with earbuds or headphones if the person keeps asking, "What'd you say? What's the action?" Because they cannot handle having their ears um, you know occupied with earbuds and be paying attention at the table or hear what's going on. So if there's somebody that's repeatedly asking what's going on because they can't hear me because of earbuds or hear the table, yeah, then I have an issue with that shit.
Yeah, I agree with that one too. Like I've worn headphones since like the early 2000s, but like I can only think of maybe once or twice in my career where I've had to ask what was the action or whatever because I missed it because I wasn't paying attention. Like if you're gonna wear them, you need to be responsible with it. And like when you're in the action, take your headphone out if you can't hear, or have it on transparency mode. Like I definitely don't want to ban them, but you're right. I get really annoyed with the people who can't handle the responsibility of it.
Exactly. And we've all been at tables with people like that. And they think that I should take time out of my day to keep repeating what's going at the table. Like, fuck off. Take your earbuds out, or whatever. Take your headphones off. Like, that's your responsibility. It's not my job to repeat things 3 times so you know what's going on at this table. Like, you're slowing down the play and, it's just stupid. Like, you're acting like an entitled asshole.
The best part about headphones, though, is when like someone's telling you a bad beat story, or they're talking to you and you don't want to talk to them, and you just put your headphones in while looking them in the eyes. That's my favorite thing to do.
Well, let me tell you something, John. I do the same thing, but I don't even plug my earphones into anything. My cord's just hanging down the center of my body.
Yeah, like I don't
And
have them on either. I just put them on like as a sign of like I'm not listening to you.
yeah, they're not even plugged into my phone. Like there's nothing coming in my earphones or earbuds, but I use the cord because I have very small ears and I would just lose earbuds all the time because they just would pop out. But anyway, um I literally don't plug it into anything. And as the time is going on, because I know the person is, continuing to talk to everyone else, and you can see everybody else's eye rolls, every once in a while I'll pick up the end of my cord and show it to them that I don't even have it plugged into anything. So the entire table will know that I have nothing, my earbuds are not plugged into anything, that I'm strictly doing it to block out this person. Oh, it's quite funny actually. Never once has anybody ever noticed on their own I have them plugged in or not plugged in. And I find that funny too, because I'm like, you're supposed to be observant poker players and you don't even notice that this cord is literally hanging down the side, the middle of my body, not plugged into anything. Like, and you hear them, and I can hear them saying, "Oh, she can't hear you. She's got her earbuds in," and it takes everything in my power not to laugh. Oh God, I just gave away my secrets, but it's okay. I want somebody to finally realize they're not plugged into anything. But anyway, oh shit. All right, let's talk about some of the shit that's coming up. Or should I say the amazing poker series and tournaments that are coming up. So that this is around town, so to speak. And of course, I have not looked at everything going on in the world, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to just give some shout outs to some upcoming events that are going on. So the Jeremy is taking his crew with MSPT. Um, Tour over to San Diego. And I don't, is it Sycon? It's SYCACUAN Casino. So the MSPT will be there January 9th through the 20th. Um, Jeremy does a great job with that series. So go on out there and see him if you're in that area. Also, Women's Week will be April 23rd through the 27th. Mark your calendars, get your plans made. Venetian Deep Stack Showdown will be from January 13th through February 2nd. Hard Rock Tulsa will be hosting the Run Good series. So Tana and Haley will be um, heading to Tulsa soon, and that's January 21st through January 26th. The Borgata Winter Poker Opens. Our gal Kelly runs that, and she has the dates. Let's see. January 2nd through the 16th, and the ladies' event is January the 12th. So go see Kelly over at the Borgata. She's doing a great job. Over at the Poker Go studio is going to be the Poker Go Tour, January 2nd through the 9th. I believe all of the buy ins for that are $10,100. So count your pennies and head over to the Poker Go studio. WSOP circuit events that are upcoming are Choctaw and Durant, Oklahoma, January 8th through the 18th. Thunder Valley is January 16th through the 27th. The Horseshoe Tunica will be January 23rd through February the 3rd. I forgot to look up the million dollar poker series at the Beau Rivage is in January. I don't have the exact dates. Ryan, Rob, if you could look that up real quick and put that in the chat, I would appreciate the dates for that. Beau Rivage in Biloxi, Mississippi is in January. It is a great series. The Moneymaker Tour is heading over to the Kennel Club in Palm Beach on February 12th, 2025. The Irish Open, mark your calendars, get your tickets booked. Irish Open is April 10th through the 21st. And the Golden Nugget Winter Classic Series is going to run January 4th through the 18th. And I'm just going to let you know that they've already made some schedule changes. So if you saved a screenshot of that schedule already and you're making plans to attend that series, go ahead to their website, get an updated schedule because they've already made some changes to it. And I'm also going to recommend anytime you're planning to go somewhere for a series, as it's about a week or two, I would say a week out from that series, go ahead and download a new copy of their schedule because 9 times out of 10 something's changed on it, and you don't want to go and show up and then the tournament you thought was going to take place has been canceled or moved to a different day and you're going to miss it because you're there too early or whatever. So you definitely want to double check those schedules because things evolve. The operators are trying to put out that information and sometimes things change. So double check those schedules for sure about a week out from your attendance to those series. So those are some of the things that are coming up. And if somebody else has anything to add to that, please let us know. Again, I didn't list all of the events upcoming. I just listed a few to try to, get you excited. let you know that WPT may be ending, and they've done a great job. Ryan Beauregard and the folks at the Win and Encore have done a fabulous job again. And of course, our favorite Matt Savage, has done a spectacular job, and the entire all the staff, excuse me, with the WPT, a Win, Encore. It's been fabulous. They always are shining bright. So, Donna, anything you'd like to bring up, love?
Yes, with Rob's misclicks, I was always taught to actually vocalize what you're going to be putting in. Now I know they're more advanced than I am. Obviously, they've been playing years. So if you vocalize what you're putting in and you put a different amount of chips in, does that stand or is it or not? Because understand what I'm trying to say.
Verbalization
Exactly.
always takes precedence. So whatever you verbalize, that's what's going to happen.
Okay, I thought as much because I'm thinking, well, he keeps doing these misclicks. Why doesn't he verbalize it?
Well, and I'm just going to say I didn't see that, so I'm just going to say as a blanket statement, I don't know how many times he's ever been on a live feed table in that big of a situation. It could have just been a little bit of nerves. There's a lot going on. They're producing a show, so he's also got to pay attention to the producers of the show, the TD, as well as the dealer and the players and the game. And, there's a lot going on. So I would just venture to guess that maybe nerves played a little bit into that.
But he also said as well that he got the chip amounts mixed up because somewhere else he plays, they're different denominations. So also when you are playing at different places, please ensure you know what your chip denominations are because they might not be the same as where you play originally. So always keep an eye on your amounts and, as I said, verbalize just in case so you don't make any misclicks.
Very sound advice. Isaac, you got anything to add today?
Hey, play poker every day.
Tell us about an event you guys got coming up with the Green Visor Gang.
We got let's see, I think this is our final week. Yeah, I think this is our final week. So of phase two. So we got a OG holders game coming up, and then we have our monthly. We have a 1 month, like end of the month game that's coming up, and our end of the month duck race is coming up. So all of that's going to be at some point during the week. Besides that, we're just over here trying to play cash as much as we can. Lately, we've been upping that. We have like a $5 buy-in game that we run once, twice a day.
Nice.
Um, it's pretty cool because we do like unlimited rebuys and hour late reg, so like it gets real degen. Sometimes we hit like 25 entries from like only from only like
5
nine
players.
people. Yeah.
I love it.
So folks go hard. But yeah, good times though.
I
Good times
love
though.
it. So check out the Green Visor Gang, folks. They always have something fun going on. I was joking around earlier. They had a special sponsor yesterday of their game, and what was Poo Pooville, right? Is the name of the
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Twitter
yeah,
account.
yeah.
And the
And
other day I
they're
had,
actually
go ahead.
they're actually they were a sponsor of ours like 5 months ago, and then they like paused their sponsorship because they wanted to finish their game and their platform.
Right.
These dudes, they're very good artists, very good developers. If you haven't had a chance, Sherry, I don't know if you have Telegram, but their game is based in Telegram,
I
and
I don't,
it's hilarious.
but I
It's
will
hilarious.
take your word for it. And I retweeted your promo for yesterday the other day just because of Poo Pooville was the
Yeah.
sponsor. I was like, if I don't just retweet this on the account of this guy of this group's name, like who am I? I love it. Poo
Yeah, I gotta tell
Pooville.
you that yeah, the name is crazy.
It's
The
hilarious.
reason behind it is awesome though, because they're like, yeah, this is a place to sell your shit, right? So,
That is amazing. I love that so much. So good luck with you guys and what you got coming up here for the end of the month, end of the year. And I know you guys are hitting 2025 hard, and we will look forward to hearing about that. Ryan Robb, my friend, thank you for posting that Bow winter heater in the chat. Do you want to tell us something about it?
No, just January 3rd through the 13th. You gonna make it down again?
I haven't even looked at it, but I am going to look at it. I do love
Kind
that
of the
series. I've been to it many Januaries, and I just need to look at it.
yeah, it's kind of the same structure.
I love they do a great job.
I know the damn cash games were incredible
Yes. And
during that time.
if you guys remember, last year I went and ended up getting a little bit of food poisoning from a drink I had, and so
I do remember
I
it.
was
It happened literally 3 feet right behind me.
yeah, but thank God Ryan was there. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. I've been in the bathroom like literally puking and remembering
Felt so
being out on
bad.
break.
I felt so
It
bad.
was horrible. Like it was
But,
horrible.
but yeah, if you can get in those cash games, I remember
Yeah,
in the tournament room, I got in one, and I think it was a 1-3 game. I had 700 or 800, I don't remember. And after about 30 minutes, I look around the table, and there was over $40,000 on the table in a 1-3 game.
love it. Absolutely love the bow. Love the
The only
bow.
problem is you're sitting there with 700 or 800, and these guys have 7 or 8 thousand, and so it's all in or nothing if you put any money in the pot.
And you're hoping you got the nuts, right?
Well, it was one hand where I didn't have the nuts. I had a mediocre hand, and I think I raised first in or whatever. Another guy, two guys call, and this other guy just jams all in, and we all fold, and he just rolls over like 10-7 offsuit.
Of course he.
So there's some juicy games to say the least.
Yeah. And they do a good job in that room. I've played many of hours in that
It's
bow poker room.
it's excellent. It's excellent. Well, they moved it. Well, it was there the last year.
Right.
I really don't like the location. I wish they would have closed it a little bit more because you're right next to all the slot machines, so it's like you're in the middle of the floor in the casino.
Yeah. They've really had an issue of trying to pick the right spot for that poker room. And,
Yep.
I remember, probably 8, 10 years ago, I don't even know how long ago, but it was so small. There was like, and you're just trying to, squeeze in and try to get to your table. And we were all excited when they moved it, over to by the sports betting thing.
And it's smaller.
And now, yeah, it's
Yeah, you literally have to. I mean, you're bumping into people's
yeah,
chairs, walking to your table.
and
It's pretty
it's
disappointing.
just poorly designed. Like I don't know, they waste a lot of space on ramping, and I don't know.
Yep. They're right next to it. When you go up the ramp to the right, there's a little small slot area. That needs to be part of the poker room.
Yes, they could even
They just
just
expanded that
yes,
one little area. It would be nice.
yes, they could go out the front door of it and make it bigger. I mean, there's so many options there. But anyway, they didn't ask me for my opinion.
Yeah, me neither.
Good to see you this morning. Let's see. Good morning, ASG. What you got for us this morning?
Good morning. Did you guys talk about the Savage going off on the one chip behind thing?
No, do tell.
Okay, so I guess Savage just found out about it the way he's tweeting these days. I don't know, but when people are going all in with one chip behind, he thinks it's both confusing and also if somebody then raises one chip, whether they should have to min raise the full min raise for it to count as the raise to putting that person all in. He's asking about changing that rule.
Wow. Wow.
Because basically, if somebody bets all but one chip, he's saying it's confusing to think because people think that they're all in when they're not, and it causes sometimes people to table their hands thinking that they've that it's over, and then also that if somebody uh, bets all but one chip, whether or not uh, putting in uh, that plus a couple of chips should be considered a raise all into that guy, or whether they have to do a full min raise.
Well, my initial thoughts are what I do with my chips are none of your fucking businesses. If I want to leave one chip behind or leave no chip behind is my business because they're my chips. Also, I think it matters if it's a multi-way pot or if we're just heads up. If it's a multi-way pot and there are yet to be people to act, then the min raise has to be met. That requirement has to be met. So if you only throw in one chip and it's less than 50% of the raise, then guess what? It's not a raise. It's just a call. So I have no issue with just keeping the rules the way they are. Is it an angle for somebody to leave one chip behind? Yeah, it could be for sure. There are people out there like that, but also it is a strategy. And you can't claim to know my way of thinking or my thoughts during that moment. And so you can't just claim I'm making an angle. I mean, I've never even done this before, but I'm just saying if I were the one doing it, you can't say it's an angle. You can't see inside or read my brain or read my thoughts. So, you know what? They're my chips. Whether I choose to put all of them in or leave five behind, one behind, what's the difference? And what's the cutoff going to be? Okay, now it's one chip behind. We're not going to allow that. Well, then next year, is it going to be, oh no, if you have, two chips, you can't, you got to go all in. Then they're going to change it to three chips. Like, forget about it. Go ahead, Isaac.
I think I see this a lot in streamed poker. I guess it's like it's strategy or something that has to do with GTO. But I've seen that quite a bit. It's like they go as far in and leave themselves one chip just in case, right? Because I guess it's a ITM thing
Well, and
or a ICM
I
thing.
can't remember who did it live first, but I remember whoever it was, the media, of course, blew it up, the poker media blew it up that it was just such an ingenious idea, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? Guess what? It was that person's idea, and so be it. It is what it is. If you're paying attention, um, then you would know he still or she still had one chip behind.
Yeah, I think it was funny enough, or at least one of them was Chewy that did it. But yeah,
And
yeah, like I said, I personally, I would always be concerned that, especially if I can't cover the person I'm doing that to, all they got to do is go all in, and no matter what, that chip has to go in. So it's like, now if you're a smaller stack, obviously, that's whatever that is, right? I don't know. Interesting though.
Well, and the same rules apply. Nothing's different because that person only has one chip left versus 30 chips or 10 chips left. If you want to raise that person all in, then you have to raise, make a proper raise. And so, if you only throw one chip out there and it's not a proper raise, that's your problem. I don't know. I think it's crazy even that he's even thinking about changing it. I'm going to have to go back and read what he's wrote. Anybody else have any comments on that? What do you think, John Robert?
I think it's kind of silly to try and make another rule about something when the rule we have is already fine. Like I think it's like you're just making like it's I don't know. I'm a big opponent of making rules for the sake of making rules.
Amen. Because you don't like somebody doing that. Well, guess what? So what? There's a lot of things in poker. We could probably all name three things that we don't like. So now we all get to make a rule because we don't like those three things? No. I mean, it's
Well, I think
stupid.
I think in really like it only comes up near bubble time in tournaments most of the time, as far as I'm aware, unless people are just being silly at cash games or something. I don't know. I haven't really been following the live cash game stuff or stream cash game stuff for a while, but like the first time and the most I've seen it is in tournaments when like maybe you don't want to get all your chips in, but you want to make a significant bet and like you want the opportunity to like hang on to your chip to try and like outlast the bubble or whatever. Like I get it, but I don't see how it's become such a big issue. I don't see an angle that's being shot, and that doesn't mean there isn't one. It just means I haven't seen it or aware of it.
Right.
So I don't know why it's a big deal all of a sudden.
Well, I think it's probably a big deal because of who brought it up more so than anything. But ASG, do you have any thoughts you'd like to share with us?
Uh, no, I agree with pretty much what you're saying. Yeah, it's a tournament thing with the ICM of one, if you're doing it pre-flop, it could be used for laddering. If like a whole bunch of people shove in front of you, then you could fold and ladder up. And then there's also the bouncing range on shoving all in. On if you, they re-raise you all in, you can fold, and that one chip has more value than if you put it in with the all in, because you could come back from that one chip. In theory. So yeah, that's the. So it's all tournament strategy. It would never be done in cash games, or at least I don't see why it would be done in cash games.
Right. I don't see a reason to do it in cash either. But everybody has their own way of doing things, right? Just because I would never see benefit in a cash game doing that doesn't mean others wouldn't see some crazy benefit, and maybe they'll teach me something. Hey, Fats, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I just wanted to ask you. So, did you ever get indicted for running a crooked meetup game, or for violating the infringement of using the word spaces in your poker meetup game or something like that?
Since I invented the name Official Spaces Meetup Game, I believe the name belongs to me. So there you go. And
My understanding was that the words you couldn't take the word spaces. You could use meetup game, but the word spaces is somehow protected by everybody that's in spaces.
Oh.
That was the legal theory that was being thrown around. I didn't know what the ramifications were of that, or if you were under house
like
arrest.
my mama used to say, consider the source, Fats. Consider the source. So, and as the sheriff, remember, Fats, I'm the sheriff. And these days, the sheriff never arrests himself, right? So there you go.
No, I just watched. Matter of fact, I watched the FBI Most Wanted episode the other day, and they had a nice crooked sheriff in that one.
Well, damn. We took it there.
Or that sheriff was running the whole town crooked.
We took it there, did we? Listen, like any profession, you're going to have people that are crooked, right? And it's unfortunate because...
Yeah, that's true. Look at the president of the United States. You can go right there.
Spaces. Look at Spaces. There's a prime example. Grifters and people begging for money and people lying and defamation of character, and the list goes on and on. We could say that all about Spaces.
Oh, by the way, is that Donna? Do I see Donna sitting there?
Hello, my darling Fats. How are you?
Are you in Vegas, Donna?
No, unfortunately not, because everybody would have a shit fit because I'd be unsupervised.
Wait, did you
could
come
you
to
tell
Vegas?
Her we don't care if she's unsupervised, please? Nobody cares.
I did go to Vegas, Fats. I did go to Vegas.
Okay, so I had one question for you. On your trip to Vegas, how many safe words did you give out?
No personal questions.
I gotta tell you, Fats, you almost got me on the airplane, going and coming. You almost got me to watch Elf. I was looking through the movies list, and Elf was on it, and I said, Fats would be so proud if I watched this movie.
Oh, you really? You could have watched it on the
I didn't
plane
do
and
it
you
because
didn't
then
do
I
it?
thought, fuck Fats in that damn
Oh,
elf movie.
I'm very disappointed, Sherry.
Yo.
Plane rides are already bad enough. You don't want to make them worse by watching Elf.
See there?
You're not making it worse watching that
See,
movie.
John, thank you for being
Matter
on
of
my
fact, if
side.
it's a long enough plane ride, you'll try to watch it twice.
Fuck Fats in the elf movie. Go ahead, ASG.
Okay.
I can't. I gotta go.
Merry
Other
Christmas,
thing.
Fats.
Okay.
So I'll see you guys later.
Happy
Go ahead.
Christmas, Fats, darling.
So, and then the other thing, whether or not it's going to be 1 or if they up it to even 2, it's still going to be a question. So, it's, going to be going all summer, all year. But let's say it's even 2 out of 3. For the Hall of Fame coming up, you got Seaver, you got Schulman, and you got Galfon. And if they don't expand to 3, at least one's going to be left out.
Well, and look how many are left out. Look at Mike Madison. Look at, my
He's not at
favorite,
that level. Come on.
John Sunnudo.
Yeah,
Certainly is
he's not at that
deserving.
level. I mean, we're talking about first ballot Hall of Famers where one guy can't be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, there are plenty names out there that those 3 guys should not be in front of, in my opinion.
I can't think of anybody who's in front of any of those 3.
I can. John Sunnudo. His record speaks for itself. A lifetime of poker.
Yeah, all he's got is he's an stat accumulator.
In your opinion. Hey, welcome, Brandon. What's up, buddy?
I was trying to come up here and troll Fats, but
Oh,
how's everybody doing?
good. He buzzed out already. He's on the run. Fats is on the run.
On the run.
He
Sherry.
can't run. He's got his scooter.
Okay, Fats is
Yeah, I
on
was
the
getting ready to
drive.
say he put the high
It's on the
powered
drive.
battery
Oh
on
my
his hover
God.
round and got out of there.
He just did a drive-by. Come on.
Yeah, shot some bullets and left.
Typical.
Yep. Sherry, can I just say something, please? I just want to say a big shout out to Ryan and everybody, the WPT, Adam, Matt, and everybody behind the scenes, all the media people, and all the people that keep it moving, the dealers and everybody, down to the cleaners and the girls that stood there doing the promotion things. Well done on a fantastic job.
Right
Hey,
on.
thanks for shouting me out, Sherry. Or Donna.
It's quite all right, my darling.
Donna, could you see my comments this morning when you were driving around?
I didn't. I'll have to. Which?
I think there's a glitch because you responded to the first one and then none of the rest.
Yeah, it might be a glitch, but like I had my eyes on road for a change because it's a little bit windy. So, like I was blown all over the carriage.
I was trying to get a little sample of that belly laugh this morning.
Yeah, just listen back to this, and when Sherry asks me if I'm ready for Christmas, then you'll get your belly laugh. You will definitely get your belly laugh with that one.
Just dropping some stupid dad jokes in there, and you just ignored me.
I'm sorry, my darling. I didn't
I'm
see
kidding.
you.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I just want to say, Sherry, another 20 days done. Well done, girl.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have to say, it's been a little more challenging with the WPT just because they don't have as many events as the WSOP. So there's not as much to cover and for us to chat about. And their updating has been rough. So it's hard to even get the winners the next day. And so it's just been a kind of a different challenge for me. And I was thinking about it this morning. Would I do it again? I'm not so sure. Not that I didn't enjoy doing it, because I always do. But I just don't know if there's enough to cover, um, that people are getting enough out of it as far as information is concerned. I don't know. Definitely will be thinking about it over the next 12 months, um, because I think it's useful information. I know it is because I get messages all the time. I just don't know if there's enough. And that's fine because it's a smaller series in the WSOP, right? And so just a different beast. So I don't know. We'll think about that over the next 12 months, but thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I've really enjoyed it. It's been good fun. Oh, and by the way, I'm taking orders for my next trip over to the US for my spotted dick. So please drop me a DM if you want some spotted dick, because I will have to bring extra.
And be reminded, she does not serve antibiotics with her spotted dick.
Yes,
I
antibiotics.
can just hear the headlines now. Donna puts it out there. DM me for some of my
Bring
dick.
some HP sauce.
DM Donna if you want some dick.
It's a good job it's a sponge pudding with raisins in.
Oh, I know what spotted dick is. I'm just saying what's going to be the next headline.
I'm just clearing
on Twitter.
it up now. It's sponge pudding with raisins in, and it's called spotted dick.
She knows exactly what she's doing.
Now with extra
Honestly.
spots.
She knows exactly what she's doing. Don't be fooled.
We all need some spotted dick in our life, really.
Yeah, but make sure you've got antibiotics with you, because if it's not my spotted dick that I bring over, then you definitely need antibiotics.
Yeah, I prefer to keep mine without spots.
Sure, the missus appreciates that. Oh, God.
Hell of a Halloween costume concept, though.
That would be hilarious. That would be really funny. Yeah, that would be funny.
Sherry, you know me too well, my darling. There's always method in my madness.
Of course. Of course. Of
Some
course.
play
All right.
checkers, I play chess.
Yeah. I'm all about the checkmate. Ryan, Rob, you got anything else you want to go over? Because I'm going to let everybody have a last word and then we're going to wrap it up.
I do not.
Well, Ryan, have a great Christmas and enjoy your family, my friend. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And I do want to make a little side note, and I've said it over the last couple of days. The holiday season is hard for a lot of people. So if you're having a hard time, reach out to me. I have a good shoulder you can lean on. And I'm sure many of us in this space would lend their shoulder as well. So you need somebody, reach out. Don't be afraid to. My DMs are always open. Brandon, would you like to bring up anything? Last words?
I have one question for you. I don't know if
Yes.
you know the answer, but I've seen some players talking on Twitter about the WSOP and the WPT getting together and coming to some agreement about not doing the Bahamas tournament and the WPT win at the same time. I don't know if there's any. Do you think that's going to happen, or they're just going to
Well,
keep going at each other?
I think for them to do it last year as a kind of a FU to the WPT was the WSOP's first mistake. They kind of brought it on themselves and there really was no reason to do it. Why would you want to force the players to choose between two great series instead of attend both? Doesn't seem like a good business model to me. I always want to err in the side of the players want to attend both, so make it so they can. And both series will profit, so to speak. So there's no reason to have them at the same time. Why not do the Bahamas in January when people are sick of the winter weather and looking for some sunshine. Like, why why make it a competitive uh, choose us or them versus, hey, go to the WPT at Christmas time in the Vegas. Everything's decorated beautifully. The wind does a great job. Then in the dead of the winter, when you're sick and tired of the slush and cold weather, come on down to the Bahamas and have a great time. So it'll be interesting to see if they change it or not. Go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, you know my stance on this, and operators going up against one another. The WSOP has got and has cornered the market for the summer series. Now, they did that as a fuck you to WPT last year. And they've also done it as a fuck you to WPT this year. And what's happened? Both times it's been a clusterfuck. So I will prefer WPT to the Bahamas any day. Give me WPT. Friendly, fantastic staff, great atmosphere. And the reports coming back from the Bahamas isn't good. So, tough. You made your bed, you bloody lie on it. That's what I say. WPT, December, the one to watch, the one to go to. And all the professionals went to the Bahamas. It made it such a soft field. Not a soft field, but a softer field. So
Well,
congratulations to all those who played WPT.
well, and I'm just going to say, I think, you know, I looked at the Bahamas, last year, and I was like, could I do both? Could I, go to the WPT for a while, go to the Bahamas for a while? Why? Because I can get a free room and so there is some attraction to that. But I think the WSOP is working hard to hold a great event in the Bahamas. They had some stumbling stones, just like any series is going to have. I think they do a great job. Can they improve what they're doing? Yes. Should they use the WPT as sort of a model right now? Yeah, because the WPT is blowing it out of the water. So they're doing a lot of stuff right, and the WSOP needs to take notice and maybe implement some of those things. And of course, the big names went down to the Bahamas because there was a $50 million guarantee. We had people like Liv Bory come out of retirement. Why? Because of a $50 million guarantee. So that tells you they're doing something right. So I'm not willing to just brush them off, but I am willing to say, hey, you screwed up. You shouldn't have went in direct head-to-head battle with the WPT. There was no purpose for it. There was no benefit to players by doing that. You really kind of screwed the players up and made them have to choose. So anyway, go ahead, ASG.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure where. Yeah, I definitely didn't hear about anything that Brandon was saying, but I gotta say, objectively, WPT had a not WPT, WSOP had a huge success. It was one thing when people fell for the that the 50 million was going to be 10 million short, and then you might have all these questions. But no, they hit. I mean, they fell like 500,000, but they still collected a million in rake somehow. But we spoke enough about that. But
Right.
they basically have said that their Bahamas thing is basically a high roller series. They didn't put any low buy-in events in the series, so it's more like they're trying to say WSOP's for the high rollers, and then the WPT is for the mid to low stakes group of people. So they're trying to differentiate that way. Yeah, I see the WSOP people complain, and then next year they're back there. So
Right on.
unless if people actually say, oh, instead, I'm going to go to the WPT regardless, then the WSOP will keep doing it the way they do.
Right on. I just hate they make us choose. Like, even if I'm not a high roller playing their tournaments, why make people choose? Like, there is enough space in the calendar to space them out so people can go to both. Go ahead, John Robertson.
Yeah. So when they announced it the first time, was it last year, or the year before? Like, I think that it really was a marketing decision to try and split the market. They were trying to force people to choose. I think that was an active, conscious choice. I think it was a bad choice, but I think it was a choice because I feel like WSOP overestimated their market share holding. I think that if this had been 2008, then yeah, they could have probably shut down the WPT event. But in 2023, they don't have the hold that they do. So I think that was the original marketing play. I think I agree with what ASG is saying now is like, since it didn't work out the way they wanted as much, they're trying to split it into a separate thing and like elevate it. But I think that's where HAP started, and I think that's what ended up happening. I think that it would be better for them to do it as a January, February, winter series, just to differentiate and give people something, because if you think about it, right before Christmas is kind of a bad time to have a series in general, in my opinion, just because so many people are planning for the holidays and everything. Like, it's for the average person, it's hard to make that work. But yeah, so my whole point was I think WSOP originally just overestimated their value and their market share, and now they're just trying to shift. So anyway.
I agree. Go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, I found that interesting what ISG just said, that they're marketing it to the higher rollers. Are they going to try and are they trying to compete with the Triton? Do they see the Triton events being I can't think of the word right now.
Well, if you remember, one of the events at the Bahamas WSOP was a Triton event.
Okay.
So
I didn't.
they're definitely
Yeah.
we're trying to work together with the Triton,
Well,
and maybe they're trying to build that into a combined brand. Who knows?
I like the
But
Triton series. I watch the Triton
yeah,
series, and I love it. I love all the high rollers and stuff. But yeah, I do agree that they should shift it to January, and the amount that you pay for a banana and some water is ridiculous. I mean, I could get my car gold wrapped for that amount. What they're
well,
paying.
yeah, the a cost of food in where they're hosting that event in the Bahamas, the cost of food on that, I guess it is an island, right? Atlantis, yeah, is ridiculous. And anyone that goes there on a vacation can testify to that. And a lot of my friends that have gone there, even my daughter, said if she goes back, because they went there last year to watch the basketball tournament, um, that they would just take some stuff in their suitcases, like, snacks and, things that they could just scarf on in their room so they don't have to, pay $50 for just a in between meals kind of snack. So the food is definitely an issue at that
But if
Bahamas
but if you're
location.
going to Atlantis in the Bahamas, just not to shame people or anything, but like if you're going there, like you really should expect it to be an experience and whatever, more than just for the poker. You're going something like to paradise type place. So I wouldn't go there expecting to be frugal. At least
Well,
I wouldn't.
no, but I don't know. Let me just tell you that it's not even being frugal. Like, the prices are ridiculous, John. Like,
No, I'm aware.
it's
Like
not just like an overpriced at the WSOP. I'm paying, $12 for a hot dog at the WSOP overpriced. I'm paying $25 for a hot dog at the Bahamas
but my
WSOP.
point is it's basic economics. If people are willing to pay it and you're willing to go knowing that, then like charge what you want because that's how economics works.
Well,
I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I'm supporting it. I'm just saying like that's how it works though.
but I'm going to tell you that a lot of people don't even know that until they arrive. Like, most of the people that have talked about their first trip to Atlantis will tell you, I had no idea food was going to be so expensive there.
Whose fault is that though, or Sherry? Whose fault is it for not
Don't
knowing
blame
what it's
me.
going to cost when you go somewhere? I'm just saying, if I'm going to if I'm going to California or wherever, I'm going to research what it's going to cost before I go because,
But that's you.
Yeah,
well,
but
that's common sense.
Well,
yeah,
that's you, and I have common sense too. But people expect to pay a little more. The problem is, it's not a little more. It's like an extreme
Y'all got me in here
price
defending
difference.
high prices today. I don't
yeah.
even like high
What
prices. I'm just saying.
Yeah, what I think they weren't expecting that they should have expected though was that or that they should change, I should say, is that the buffet not being open to the family of the players.
Oh, I didn't even know that was an issue.
Yeah, the players would go on their dinner break and their significant others couldn't come with them because they didn't have they
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not even sure if they could pay for it.
that's never a good policy. I'm going to welcome Sean McCormack, Big Daddy Poker.
You gotta stop with that. We can't have that sticking around. My God, that was for Spaces at night. How about that? After 9 p.m., maybe we can say that. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Sherry. Good
Good
morning, Donna.
morning.
Good morning to the panel. I think I love that you guys are having this conversation. It just means poker's alive and well, and you guys are starting to put on your operators hats and think like we do. Like, where should these events be and where shouldn't they? So that's really cool to hear you guys think about it. And I'm not going to speak on WPT too much, especially with Matt Savage right here. If he wants to come up and speak about his product, I saw him yesterday, and I saw Ryan Beauregard and the whole Win team. I got to sneak behind the final table before they did the shuffle up and deal and congratulate everybody on what I thought was an amazing, successful event. Yes, in years past with this date, it did feel like the two giants were going at each other's throats a little bit, but I didn't feel that this much this year. And I'm going to come at it from a different angle and say that I believe there's enough meat on the bone for both. Both of them will pivot now, knowing exactly how many entries they can actually pull to each respective property at what level of clientele they're looking for. Yes, WSOP looked like they were going higher end. They look like they were going more to high rollers. Because I'll tell you guys, if they move it up a month, if they move it back a month, they bump into Poker Stars. If they move it up a month, they run into Borgata. And I'm not here speaking on my own product to say that it's going to bump into anything, because I'll tell you, if they land wherever they end up landing that product, somebody should run a major domestic event at the same time. And I'll tell you why. Because it's run a favorable event versus the WSOP running. So no matter when they run it, somebody should be running a massive, awesome domestic event. Because again, I think the product right now, meaning poker, especially at both ends, there's enough meat on the bone here, especially as Gigi's going to double down with everything that they're doing in the online space. They're going to want to bring in more qualifiers. Basically, every major operator, and MGM Resorts is not out of this either, working with BetMGM, is trying to recreate the 2003 model. We're just trying to get qualifiers, trying to bring it back to old school poker. And as poker gets regulated in more and more states, we will be able to do that more and more. And as GG ramps things up with their new partnership with WSOP, they're going to be able to do some awesome stuff. They're not worried. A lot of people aren't really worried about giving value back. You saw what WPT did. They gave you guys a $5 million free roll. Why? Because they have a new product they want you to also support. GG's going to want you to support that product. And at the end of the day, we all benefit in the live spaces when these products are supported. So everybody's game plan, I believe, is on point right now. I think WPT did a great job again, partner with Win. They got the numbers they got. Now they know what to cater for next year. Next year will be their best WPT Win event ever. Yet I'm calling it out right now. And you know what? Concurrently, wherever GG puts this, the Paradise series will also be the best. Because now, again, all they did over the last couple of years is buy information. And that's not a bad thing. They bought information to make the event better for you next time. And they're going to do it again and again and again. Again, my thought on this is no matter where each of them land with their product, poker itself is in an influx right now. We're moving up. The stock price is going up. We're looking great, and these events are only going to get better. So again, if they move it to January, I'll tell you this: we're not going to pivot. We're going to run the best freaking event in New Jersey, and we're going to cater to those players that, one, probably aren't going to Paradise, and two, we're both on each side creating new player acquisitions and new equity within the player pool that's only getting stronger. So keep these conversations going, because I promise you, operators are listening. We're listening to what you're saying, but like, I think the product right now, i.e., poker, is so strong. It's a buy. It's not a hold. It's not a sell. It's a damn buy, guys, right now. And I'm telling you, the operators are seeing it. We're seeing the value in it, and we're going to return that value back to you, just like WPT did and WSOP did. So kudos to both of them. And I know they're both my competitor, but take your hat off where you have to, tip it up to them and say, damn, you both did a freaking awesome job. End rant.
Thank you, Sean. And Sean just kind of summarized exactly what we've all been
Did
saying, and
he
I
just drop the
love it.
mic?
Yeah, I'm ready to run. I'm ready to run through a brick wall for Sean now. So just wherever we're going, buddy, just tell me where to
Kool
go.
Aid Man. All right. Hey, Brian, what you got for us?
Good morning. Yeah, I was just gonna say, okay, so here's the thing. This year I planned to go and play the Win event, and things were crazy and just didn't work out. However, I will say this. Number one, I love Jack, but I've never seen him in this space. All right, so I'm always gonna be Matt Savage. I changed my name, all that for Matt, and and
You're
uh,
such a suck up.
and
Go ahead.
and here's the thing, though. Seriously, like,
And can we call him by Towley, please?
yeah, that's
No,
fine.
Thank
Bad
you.
Santa. Bad Santa. Got to be Bad
And
Santa.
so
Go ahead, Brian.
here's the thing, Sherry, is that I I I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing this wrong, but like the whole thing of the WPT, like what they're doing with this event, and really what Club WPT should really be, and what I enjoyed about way back with the poker boom was Poker Stars and all that was all about, everybody was making money playing tournaments. Those were great. But what I really wanted to do was win my seat. And so, like with Club WPT feeding these events, um, they are set up really well, and they're bringing in the people that we want to play with, right? Like they're bringing in people that aren't ever going to be able to play $1,000 event, much less a $10,000 event, you know, if without some type of system like that. So, um, revitalizing the satellite structure and doing that into like a year-round approach. I don't know, maybe GG will eventually get World Series of Poker there, but like I know that they have their format, but it's just not set up, I think, as well as Club WPT is. I think,
Well,
and
and let
and and the
I
new
mean,
client, I would imagine is going to be incredible.
I
So
mean, and kudos to WPT for putting those things in place so people have the opportunity for 12 months to earn, seats and,
that's the thing.
golden passports. But anyway, they have figured it out, and it's a great business model, and it's getting people opportunities that otherwise wouldn't have those opportunities, and it should be mimicked or mocked as not mocked but copied as a great business plan, especially for those that may not, as you said, be able to buy into that $1,000 ticket on their own. So
And it's what
kudos.
and it's what everybody wants. I mean, quite honestly, like if you broke that monthly fee for a series down, like, being able to afford to go out.
You're cutting out, Brian. Brian, you're cutting out. We lost you, Brian. Sorry, bud. Sorry, Brian. We cannot hear you. If you can hear me. And I hated Tramp. I just realized I skipped over you and I didn't mean to. Sorry, bud. I hope you come back. ASG, go ahead while we wait for Brian to.
Okay, yeah, my spaces is glitching as well, so I don't know if Sean's still up here, but I wanted to know if he knew more about why Global is leaving Nevada and if that will affect whether or not WPT Gold will even be in Nevada because they seem to be following Global's lead. So the Nevada leaving kind of just seemed to come out of nowhere. I didn't know if any laws changed, so I wanted to see if you knew anything about that.
Sean, you still
I,
serious?
I'm here. I don't know the specifics, and I don't know the inner workings of either of those brands. So I'd be more apt to just throw it to those people to talk about it. All I can talk about is what we do with like BetMGM, and we're pushing forward with getting poker in Nevada. Hopefully in 25, maybe in early 26. But like those other models and stuff like that, I can't speak directly to them, and I don't. I think I know about as much, maybe slightly even less. I haven't even read the full breakdown by Global that was sent to the players and stuff like that, and obviously was sent to the state and to the regulators and stuff like that. But I don't know where this started, so no, I can't speak to that,
Yeah,
and I
okay.
don't
It
know
seemed like they
about
just
the gold product either.
okay. It seemed like they just emailed their players saying we're leaving. So I wasn't sure if there was a law that changed that was a reason why they left, like because they didn't put it in their email. So I thought maybe you would know if there was
Yeah,
a
I
law
can
change.
check with like the GCB. Oh, I have a lot of feedback here, HG. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know why we have the feedback.
I think it's it's ASG's mic. But yeah, I can check to see if anything like was pushed by a regulator or something, but I haven't seen anything, and generally we would. The first thing I saw was the same email that everybody else got. I'm not on Global, so they didn't send me an email. I just saw it on either Poker News or somebody posted it in a forum or something. But yeah, I wish I knew more about those products, but I really don't. It's a failing on my part, guys. I'm sorry. I'm kidding, of course, but like I do know about our product a little bit. That's all I can talk about.
Any follow up, ASG?
No, thank you, and yeah, looking forward to seeing more from BetMGM. I heard you guys had this gigantic market share. I was completely unaware how much you guys were crushing it until I saw some article saying that I think you had like 50% of the market or something. So good job on
Yeah,
that.
we're doing pretty good. We're the number one right now, which is funny to say because it's still very, very limited. You know what? The only thing I can think, and this is very speculatory, so please don't quote me on this, but like we all know that like and it's a very much a Nevada thing because we have regulated gaming here at such a high level. But I'm guessing it's the same reasons that like ACR says not available in Nevada, which is crazy because none of it's regulated anyways, but they still put it there. And like stake.us and like all those other sites say not available in Nevada, even though they are available everywhere else because it's not regulated. So I think that's why it's available. So I don't know if that's the case with you were mentioning Global or WPT Gold, which I know I don't even know how to sign up on these things yet, but maybe I should learn.
That would be one hell of a live stream.
Right?
I would love to see that. Like Sean signing up to all these sites. You know what I mean?
You just want me playing
I,
online poker, you son of a bitch.
I'm saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That's
Trust me,
hilarious.
trust me. In my college days, I should have had 3 or 4 more laptops if it wasn't for Paradise and Party Poker.
I love
You,
it.
you want me playing online poker for sure. I am the worst.
Online poker is rigged. No, I'm just kidding. It's not.
Software, were you finished with what you wanted to tell us?
Yeah, my phone nuked. Sorry about that. But what I was saying is, like, I've always like thought that the idea of like that you could pay a membership fee and basically your like buy-ins would be covered by the end. Like, if they could just bill my card, like maybe this is the $1 million idea, Matt. You just bill my credit card every month for like divide up the buy-ins, and then like when it comes to the win, I'm ready to go. Like I already got my money in there, you know.
Brian, I'm going to stop you right there and say,
Yeah,
I
let's.
promise, anything you think we're going to solve here in this space is just not going to happen. But
And,
Look,
but
you
but
still
but but
haven't gotten
listen,
your
let me
drink
let me
back at
finish
the.
this though, Sean. Is that number one? He has to make
I
sure
can't
that
even get Strawberry Julius's
yeah,
approved. Sorry, go ahead.
they
Go
Exactly.
ahead.
they they need to make sure they get Strawberry Julius's in there. But number two, don't have the credit card statements say the win. Have them say like golf balls, and although I guess that's what PokerStars got in trouble for, right? So never mind, never mind.
Yeah, what are we
Oh,
doing
by the
here?
way, Sherry, real quick, I just wanted to address one thing that John said earlier. And not that it's a
Yes.
bad thing. You should call regulators out and operators out, or not regulators, but operators out on how much we make. And for the most part, pretty transparent about it. But also, you guys can run the math in 5 seconds. You know how to add up rake times entries. So When you say a statement like they made $1 million in rake, just remember, like, Win put on this beautiful, massive event for you guys and was paying like $80,000 a day in waters alone. So when you think the rake and all the money is there, I promise you it's not. The labor to run these places, the event costs, like, once you move stuff out of the poker room and you give them a gorgeous event space to put it in, just 5x all the costs. And it's not because our internal cost is so high, it's just the labor cost to run these things is through the roof. I promise you, this event that they did came a lot closer to even than you think it did, and maybe even slightly at a loss. And people would be like, well, why would you run these events? Because having you guys in the building has intrinsic value. We hope that you eat in our restaurants, stay in our hotels, F&B with us, all that stuff. And of course, we hope you gamble with us too. There's no secret here. I'm not giving away the store or anything like that. You know, we hope that some percentage of the field does other things, and we hope that it leads to future player acquisition. So
And
at the
let
end of the day, when they talk about how much money you're making in these tournaments, I'm seeing the bottom lines, guys. It's not crazy or anything like that. Do we profit? Yeah, of course we do. We have to, especially in the Vegas market. You have to profit, but it's nowhere near what you think it is when, at the end of
well,
the day, when the
Wait,
money's cut up.
hold
and
on.
wait a minute.
Did you think I commented on that? Because I don't remember commenting on
And
that.
let's
Was it
just
somebody else? Somebody
no,
else mentioned it, or
Yeah,
I said
John.
because
$1 million in rake. Sorry, I thought that was your voice, Sean.
Oh
I
no,
thought it
Sounds
was
like a
no,
guy
John
no.
toeing
too.
the company line, huh?
no,
But
I
let's
think
face it,
I
John.
think I was the one who mentioned it, but I was mentioning it
OSG.
because the tournament supposedly overlaid, and yet they took $1 million. That was the reason why I mentioned it.
Well, and let's remember that Sean owns that water bottle company that they're spending so much money in. So don't be fooled.
I was
I
the
wish
one
I
Bro,
that.
had
that's the real
1%,
alpha.
1% of what
Yeah.
those convention people make, Sherry.
And of
1%.
course, I'm joking. He does not. It's just a joke, 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 people. So don't everybody get in a tizzy and spread that stupid rumor.
Speaking of crazy water, does everybody in here just feel like all of us should have thought of this Death Wish water or whatever the hell it's called? Like, that guy made like $1 billion. Like, it's not even like, what are these? Like, people just make up
Honestly,
things and it's crazy.
Liquid Death? You're talking about
Yeah, yeah,
Liquid Death,
that's
right?
insanity. It's just water,
Dude,
right?
their
It's not,
marketing is the best though because they
it's
went
all
for the malt
marketing.
liquor look.
It's not
Yeah,
product,
malt
it's
liquor,
marketing. Like,
water.
it's wild to me, man. It is wild.
honestly,
Like,
Sean, I wish I invented the post-it note. I'm just gonna say.
Psh, hey, that's a good one. But nah, you know what? That
Unfortunately, that
right
was
there, I
invented
think
by
Liquid Death.
was that Romy or Michelle?
One, I think Michelle.
well, Sherry, I'm coming
Nah, but
hot. I'm coming hot to market. I have this product. It's called a jump to conclusions mat. Now you have to see it in person. It's really, really spot on and special.
This is
You have to
funny.
see this thing. It's like it could be the next pet rock, guys. Like, you know, that guy made $1 million, right?
You're hilarious.
it,
That is funny.
it should be a trampoline though, shouldn't it?
And don't forget, they probably spend $1 million in towels alone at the WPT for Towley. You know, he wants those purple towels, so we can't forget that towel.
Yeah, the guy who invented
Expenditure.
the jump to conclusions, Matt, got hit by a car. That lucky son of a bitch, you know. Um,
Did he really? That's terrible.
Not in real life.
Oh, no.
no, this is
I
all
was
an
like,
office
wait.
space reference. This is all an office
see, you
space
just jumped to
reference.
conclusions. It's working already. It's already working.
I had to, play into it. Come on. Come on. All right, Sean, I announced earlier that you guys have the Borgata going on, the Winter Open in January. What else you guys got going on?
The Beau Rivage heater also starts right at the start of the year. And
Yep.
then National Harbor has an event very early in February called the Winter Potomac Open. Check all three of those events out. We go strong east of the Mississippi in Q1 of every year, but in 25 for sure.
And
So
we did
Sean,
talk about the
Sean,
Bow Open heater earlier because Ryan Robb was up here and he goes to it, and so do I. And I don't know if anybody else does, but it is a great. I've been going to that one for years. It's a great series. The Beau Rivage staff always does a great job with that one. Go ahead, Brian.
Sean, what was this pot committed event at the MGM yesterday? What is that?
What is it? I'm sorry, you cut in, or I did.
What is this pot committed event that I saw at MGM last night?
It was a daily event you're talking about? The one we had at MGM Grand?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It might have been a series. Are you guys doing a series here?
No, we had a couple of like one-off like special events. Like we had one called the 50-50 and a couple other ones. Just highlighting again, like when there's more poker in town, we'll throw up little pop-up events here and there. We actually ran some cool events at Mandalay Bay over December too. We had a guy that from Mandalay Bay, our smallest room, actually ended up spinning up to like from a satellite. Talk about more qualifiers and more games at Aria. Won his entry into Aria and spun it up to like 26,000 or something like that. I have to find this guy. He's from Sweden. He's like off an $80 seat, spun it up to like 26,000 in mystery bounds. This is a great story. This is what we're trying to do. But yeah, we're like our plan for this year was to softly like help each other out and stop siloing the poker rooms from each other and actually help each other out, like send people to each other. Borgata sent a ton of entries to Aria for this winter series and stuff like that. So yeah, just a couple of, you'll see these pop-up events happening to either highlight other events or as qualifiers into bigger events.
Yeah, I think that's great. Like I said earlier, poker not just about earning a living, but if you can win your vacation somewhere along with a tournament, that's pretty nice. And I guess that's the whole thing. So anyway.
What's really cool is that like my bosses, and I mean like the C-suite, really what they believe in poker is the stories of the everyman. They think the hidden gold for the next iteration of poker, we don't talk about the next boom. Poker doesn't need a boom. We're in a boom. We're in an influx, like I said, but they really believe that, yeah, the pros are cool. We all know the big
Right.
names. We all know Ivies and Helmuts and Negreanos and stuff like that, but they really believe that the lifestyle piece of following the everyman, the wreck as they go from, either a $500 tournament or $1,000 tournament. Like, let's tell their story and how they ascended to poker greatness or won a big trophy or won a large event and stuff like that. So we're doing some cool things going into next year of how we can highlight more of that player experience. Because again, we all started playing poker, playing against our grandmother for quarters on the kitchen table or something
Yep.
equivalent to that. My dad taught me crazy eights before he taught me other games and stuff like that. And let's start telling again the everyman story of how I started with nothing, and not nothing, but you know what I'm saying. I started at the bottom of the
Right.
poker rung, and now I have a story of how I either went up in stakes in cash games, or went up in stakes, or just bought into one big event. And I'm from Middle America, and here I am. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a lot of cool stuff like that. We want to highlight poker players, not just poker in general.
I
Well,
love
that grows the game, but it also is what everybody wants to watch. Like that's what's entertaining. So if there's content around that, you know, that's kind of I think the mistake for a long time with the ESPN coverage was it became about these same pros every year, and we're trying to build these big pro names, and it's like that's not why people are watching. I mean, it gets a certain amount of traction, but nothing gets traction like the guy from Moneymaker that comes out of nowhere and wins millions of dollars.
If you guys have time, I wrote an entire TV show script I could break down right now for you guys.
Go for it.
No, oh my God, that would be so bad. But I kind of did.
Come on. You
I'll
can't
just get.
tease us like that and then bail on
It was
yourself.
it was
I
so
got I
long
got a
ago. It
name
was
for
like
you.
Come on.
literally it was
Lucky
like
you.
I wasn't even like a manager at the time. I was like 15 years ago, and I just had this concept that like I didn't know people like I know now, but I thought how cool is it to have, and I need some creative writers with me, but like I had it set at the Palms, and it was like when the old Palms poker room existed like that. And basically think of like an MTV show or a Survivor show, like Real World or something like that, where everybody lives in the hotel and they play poker every day and they have to like earn things and stuff like that. And you keep track of like it was very intense. But Sherry, I actually have a copy of it. I will
Yes.
show you in person sometime. I promise.
Yes.
I promise I will. But I'm not going to break it down here because I just feel like a complete nerd. But just that was the gist of the show, a Survivor type elimination show where everybody lived at the same hotel, which just highlights the hotel too. And don't ask me why. I think I wrote it about the Palms because I was like playing poker there at the
I
time.
love it.
Like I was like a
Sort of.
dealer at like Bellagio, but like whatever. But like it was like this cool idea that like I didn't know the Maury Escondanis of the world
So
yet, and I did not that I would have gave it to him. Not that I would have gave it to him. It's just like
you really invented
No, I didn't.
Okay,
Well, I didn't.
wait a
Yeah.
minute. Let me
Oh, go ahead.
finish
Go
my
ahead. Go ahead.
sentence. You really came up with the concept of a content hotel instead of a content house, a content hotel. Love it. Poker content hotel. I would be there
I
for
know
that.
the name of this show. It should be called Lucky You, Sean. That's what it should be called.
John Robertson, go ahead, buddy.
Well,
He's not
first,
going to get you strawberry
no.
Julius's either. All right, go ahead.
First, I want to apologize to Bathwater for buy-ins because I'm going to extend the space longer, and he's tired of us talking. But
He is. Well,
it was in the chat. It's
we
in the
need to
chat.
boot him. Wait.
No. He's just joking around. I was just joking. I was just going to say that I agree with Sean, and I think you could make a good internet series out of that if you really wanted to. Because if you look at the success of Game of Gold, like it was a flash, like everybody was really excited about it for a minute, and then it kind of went away, and they weren't talking about it for long. But like I think if you did that with average everyday people as opposed to just giant name people, I think there would be a market for that. And I didn't mean to make you cry bathwater. I was just teasing. I thought your tweet was funny.
Bathwater. I just read it. It was funny. I was, just making shit up as I go, but I read it. It is funny. You're not going to get booted. Come on, Bathwater.
But back to the point, I do think that like a lot of the everyday people who like content would enjoy seeing average everyday players do the Game of Gold type challenges and stuff because I just think there would be a market for it. So I really don't think you should write that off completely, Sean. I think you should maybe pull it out, dust it off, and consider it.
Let's
Yeah, it
go,
was.
Sean. I'll
It
help
might
you.
have been ahead of its time for sure, but it would need a 2024 makeover for sure.
Let's
But
get
think about it. You could have a season where you have all these content creators in the same house. The Caitlins and the Nikki Limos and like the Jamin Burtons or whoever you want, just like content creators and vloggers, streamers, all these guys. Like that'd be a cool season too, where they could show you perspectives from their view. Like you wouldn't have to have major cameras follow them because they know how to do their own shit. Okay, my dog's going nuts. BRB.
I think you just go to random poker rooms
Well,
undercover, and then you like look for just interesting personalities in the room that no one's ever heard of, and then like
exactly.
you know
We've
give
heard
the
all the stories of the ones that are in our feeds 20 times a day. We want people that maybe we haven't heard from in a while, or that are on the brink of making it, or are their poker room's favorite, superstar locally. That's who I want to see on that show.
Yeah. Or even of the ones we heard of, I thought that was the real mistake is that, that they had like all these high rollers who the money really, I won't say don't mean anything to them, but kind of,
right.
like
Right.
compared to like, even if you had Jeremy Becker, like that would be like a big score for him. Like,
Right.
I want to see the single mom who, if she loses, she can't feed her kids. Put her on there because then
That's
it'll matter.
it.
Come on, man.
That is it, right? For sure.
We want the everyday people.
That's sad. It's sad.
Now
Like
then
he's
you know
right.
what? You gotta have open tryouts like American Idol, right? And you gotta have like Sean and a panel of somebody and like a troll in there to like just berate people,
Well,
right?
yeah,
You
because
have
you
them
have
play
to have a
heads up
villain.
against
Why
somebody.
You have to have
not
a villain in conflict.
why not
I,
have
s-
submissions? Submit your local poker room's favorite.
I still say the best poker televised, the best show ever was the one where the guy made the WSOP final table. He told his wife he was going to a conference in Vegas. He was staying in a trailer in an RV behind the circus. And it's just like
That's the
so
person we want.
hilarious.
That is exactly the person we want.
But they did blow it. They didn't show his wife's comments on the whole thing or the divorce proceedings when he donked it all off at the craps table.
That's terrible. I'm
In,
not laughing because he did it.
inevitably, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
that's terrible. Oh, but it happens,
So
doesn't it?
here's why I think, and someone smarter than me that knows TV and broadcast and stuff like that and is creative can run with this. The reason why I think this could really exist is you could easily get sponsors to want to do this show. One, the casino itself is going to be highlighted every single day. It's not just the poker room. If, let's say, for instance, we did this at Bellagio, okay, you could highlight when they go to the Mayfair Club or they go to Prime for dinner or they wake up and they go to the pool to swim. There's so many things. You just have to find the right sponsors to pay for all this, but people would be willing to do this. I'm telling you, there's more people that want to get in this type of content than you guys probably, even I probably realize. But I know I've heard from people in like content development that more lifestyle, more following the real person and stuff like this, more authentic. It needs to feel more real because that's what people like. But without like, don't lose ourselves to the, like you don't want it to feel like Jersey Shore either. Not that there's not a place for that show too, but it's just a different product. So I think people really want to follow the everyman and just hear, the average Joe make it and stuff like that. And that's a season you could do too. Average Joes versus pros. You could do the young guns versus the old guys. You can do whatever you want. There's so many different cool ways you could do it. But again, someone needs to go give this to someone who knows how to actually develop this type of product.
John, I just had the best idea. Let's put this together right now. Let's get Matt out of the win and back to Bellagio. I got it. I got the way to do it. You ready?
Pause. Stop.
All you need to do, it has nothing to do with watermelon juice or anything. All you need to do is convince Bellagio to put the Fontana Lounge back in as a poker tournament room. Let's do it. What do you say?
I'm going to say hello to Larry Fine and welcome to the panel.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that, Sherry. So just over here laughing about listening to this, I think it's a brilliant idea. But I do think you need some crazies because I don't know if you have enough audience to tune in to watch good poker. You got to put the crate. That's what kept people coming back to Jersey Shore was because what are those crazy people going to do next kind of thing. So
okay. So got it.
Alan Kessler be a contestant.
No. He means crazier than that. Sprinkle a Ryan DePaulo in here. Sprinkle a Jungle Man in there. Got it.
yeah,
I'm on it.
now you're on the bus. That's it.
I'm of the team of no names with just a couple of sprinkles of some names.
But you have to have a heel. Larry's right. You have to have a heel, or you don't have any conflict.
It's not too difficult to find crazy human beings in a poker room. You could probably find some personalities that would fit the bill that aren't necessarily famous poker players, right?
That's my point.
I got one word for you.
Sure.
Cuz.
Oh my God, Cuz would make such good TV.
Okay.
Sherry hit it right earlier though. All you have to do is have people submit their tapes. You know what I mean? You're gonna find the talent. People are gonna watch that, or do it in person. Like somebody mentioned, like I guess you could do it like American Idol, where you have like me and a couple of judges sit there and we're like, "All right, tell us what you got. You got a minute." You know what I mean? Like that, and we just judge them real quick. And they got to put the shtick out there. They got to be funny, or they got to be serious, or because we'll need a serious person, we'll need a shy person, we'll need an extrovert, an introvert, and all that. Yes, to run a TV show, you need to highlight all these things because when it all comes together, it creates that explosion of like, who knows what the hell's going to happen next, which makes you tune in next week.
Okay, let me just throw this out there. Here's the concept I would appreciate. And it's because it's my own idea, let's face it. Okay, if you put out a contest to nominate your favorite local poker player from your poker room, then you and a panel of people go undercover to that poker room to see that person in their natural habitat and decide from there if they're going to make it on the show or not.
Undercover poker boss. There you go.
Undercover Big Daddy. Go ahead.
If you need some production funding, just hit me up in a DM, Sean.
You got it, Larry. I'm in.
I love it. Go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, I've got to say, Sherry has got to be in on this series. Not me, no way, but Sherry's got to be there.
With a 10-gallon hat and a sheriff's badge.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Y'all are hilarious. You are so funny. Thanks, Donna. I appreciate that. But
payback, my darling, payback. Mwah. Love you lots.
Love you lots. That's hilarious.
All right, I am going to drop down for a little bit. just one more thing before I go, in case I don't see you guys. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. And again, hat off to my friends down at WPT for what they did this winter, and also to the folks down at WSOP Run in Paradise. Poker's alive and well. I love it. And don't worry, guys. Matt Savage, WPT, MGM Resorts, we still have a great relationship together. We still work
You just
together.
say
We still do things
WTT.
together. So,
Wait,
what's that?
did you just say WTT or am I hearing things?
I might have said it fast. I got an accent, you know.
WPT.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think I know who that partnership is. I think I know who they are, Sherry. Thank you.
well,
Oh
I
my
just want to
goodness.
make sure we're saying WPT. Love you, Sean. Merry Christmas to you and the missus.
Yes, ma'am. All right, guys. Bye, Donna.
Bye, darling. I'll see you next year sometime. Love to you and Shannon. Merry Christmas, sweetheart. Make it a
Well,
good one.
speaking of accent sponsors, every time I hear one of these episodes, I think you're sponsored by Elevator Results.
I am. I am. Sponsored
Elevator.
by
That's a good
Mean
segue,
a lift.
Sherry.
Elevated Results. Taking you to the top floor to elevate your life. Thank you very much.
Seriously though, Sherry, the Fontana Lounge was the greatest tournament room in the entire world, bar none. I
And
would,
they served your favorite drink, didn't they?
yeah, and I would give up that favorite drink shtick if they brought back the Fontana Lounge, and I'm sure that Matt would abandon the win and be back at Bellagio with the WPT championship. But
Well,
but I fully
we're,
understand yanking it once they pulled out that freaking lounge. What do they put in there? Like, I don't know. Anyway,
I don't even know because I don't even remember it as the Fontaine Lounge or
oh
whatever.
my gosh, it was the greatest place. You had like the fountains in the background. It was beautiful. It was a great
So
place to
what's
play
there
poker.
now? Like what is in that space now?
I think the Mayfair Club or some restaurant.
Oh, got it. Okay, so they just repurposed for a restaurant.
It was always like it wasn't like a tournament room. It was like, a lounge that they would use for tournaments, but it was just super cool. Like, really, I don't know. Like, Matt's been to a lot more tournament rooms than I have throughout the world, but like for me,
Right.
I can't imagine something cooler than that. Just like you have the fountains in the background. It's like right in the middle of the hotel, or right in the middle of where the fountains are and stuff. They have this like outside area that you could go out to. It was nice. It was very sad when they closed that.
Well, it sounds nice. I'm going to just give a little shout out to Matt Savage. He wasn't in here earlier when we were talking about what a great job he and the WPT staff and Ryan Beauregard and the Win Encore staff have been doing. It was a fabulous series, sir. But I also wanted you to know, Matt, if you put up getting rid of card protectors and one chip left is an automatic all in. If I put in uh, my whole stack, but leave one chip behind, if you make a rule change on that, you're going to have to get a hook out at the TDA summit in 2026. I will be the new person they hate on the microphone because I will be speaking up against both of those, Matt Savage. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't think either one of those things are happening. And what else isn't happening is like no masks or no sunglasses or any of the other things that come up every other week.
Wait, they're making noise about removing card protectors from the table?
Yeah,
There's no.
Daniel Negreanu put out a list. There was probably 6 or 7 things. I don't remember all of them, but one of them was to get rid of card protectors. And for those that weren't in here earlier, if he's saying that because there's, some people are out of control with card protectors, hence the guy that had like
No,
12 rubber ducks on, the live feed table at the WSOP this summer, or
sissy caps.
or some of those people that I was not trying to call out the names
Oh,
on
sorry,
there,
sorry, sorry,
or
sorry.
people that are using large card protectors. I can see that, saying, hey, we need to limit it to maybe 2 card protectors and maybe a certain size, X inches by X inches, right? I understand that.
You mean like at the airport when they put your carry-on in that little box? It's got to fit
Right,
inside that little box.
right.
He's
But
saying that because of the spy cams.
right,
Yeah.
but not only the spike, but
Oh,
I want to say that, and I brought this up earlier. I know many have come in here since, but if you've ever sat in seat 1 or 9 and had your cards mistakenly taken up by a dealer, I have twice, then a card protector is very important at that point in time. When you're in one of those seats, and so there is a reason to have a card protector to protect your cards. So I definitely would battle against having that rule implemented. Besides, I let me say that differently. I would not agree with a total ban of them. I would agree to a amount or size, but that's it.
But
So anyway, go
but
ahead.
Sherry, why wouldn't you just use like a chip or something from the table, like for your card protector?
it's good luck. It's a luck piece, I think, for a lot of people.
Well,
They had a big win with it, and they hang on to it because it brought them luck
I
in
I
well,
their
think
mind.
I think we're gonna lose this deal eventually, but just with the cameras and stuff like that, that they're really worried about game integrity and the idea of anything being on the table other than chips and cards
well,
eventually.
people can put a camera on a button on their shirt. So now we're going to go
Yeah,
shirtless at the
so
table.
that's a good
I
point.
mean,
Please, no,
you
no,
know,
please, please, no.
No, thank you.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
no,
it's not.
We did that in
but they're
Malta.
saying, but the reason for the card protector versus like a button is because the card protector is under where you could see the pitch to be able to scan
Right,
the card. Like that's how the cheating's been working in these high stakes games
right,
Yeah,
apparently.
you
right.
can't get it to that angle with a button. That's a
Well,
good point.
and you know what? There wouldn't be that angle to get to if they were dealing like they deal in Europe, and
Yeah,
they're
that's true.
sliding the cards off the deck, which I think that is an awesome option, to help with the cheating with cameras at the table. I think that is probably would be the biggest improvement to battle that issue. But go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, I've pulled up Daniel's tweet. It says poker rules changes I would vote for is 1, no face coverings of any sort. 2, no sunglasses. 3, if a player bets 90% or more of their stack is an all-in.
Terrible.
4, no card protectors allowed on the table. And it says improve player viewer experience and protect the
Yeah,
game.
no rule should tell me what I should do at my chip stack. No rule should ever be implemented, in my opinion, that tells me what I have to do at my chip stack as far as the amount of chips I'm putting in a pot, other than, what a legal raise is, that kind of thing. You telling me if I'm 90% in that I have to be 100% in? Yeah, no way. No way.
I'd be fine with if instead of one chip behind, you had to leave a full blind.
I don't agree with that either. Nobody should tell me my strategy at the table.
Sounds like a
As my,
frustrations list, not a wish list to me. He sounds like he's just frustrated with amateur players who do these things, and he prefer they didn't exist in his world. Is probably what's going on
well,
there.
that's why he wanted more rake too, right? To get rid of the peons in the world of poker. So there you go.
Actually, he wanted more rake to keep the peons.
Yeah, whatever. That's
But
not.
But
without
the
the
more rake was better
recreational,
is to say that the pros wouldn't come, and then the whales would just be playing with each other, which is what the operator would want.
Well, and when was the last time Daniel came and played a 1-3 game? I mean, come on. When was the last time he played a $200 buy-in?
without the recreational
You talking
players,
about Negreanu? Last year he played the
Which was how
Colossus,
much?
right?
Which,
And
no,
300.
I think it was 4. But
He
he only
played. He did play the
Oh,
kickoff, the 400 or 500, whatever that was.
right. Why did he do that though, Brian? It's your favorite topic. Why did he do it, Brian?
So that I could like finally like outlast him and outwit him and outplay him. Oh no, this isn't Survivor. Sorry. Anyway,
You guys get my point, though. Playing one Colossus a year, $400 tournament a year, does not give him a perspective as to what the people that play that type of tournament over and over, 30 times a year, he has no concept of what those people want or need.
So he doesn't know how much a gallon of milk costs, Sherry? Is that what you're basically saying?
Yeah, he does it because he doesn't drink milk.
Yeah, about to say because he's vegan. No.
He's
Oh,
in
but you know what
I
I mean, though, right? He's at this sort of level that he's not aware of what's going down in the lower trenches, kind of thing, right?
he's in
Yeah.
the ivory tower, and he has
I
been
did.
for a long time, and it's really not fair that he influences a lot of what's going on in the poker world, and he's part of the top 5%, but what he's trying to help decide, it affects the 95%.
Yeah,
So
I don't like, my bigger problem is like the player of the year stuff because they literally took that and made it for a very small group of people that are all a bunch of buddies that they can you know basically take it down every year, and then those of us that come and play an entire series like have no chance at it. So it's pretty absurd.
hopefully they
Yeah.
make some changes to that this year, Brian.
A layperson can get nowhere near that status because of the cost of the buy-ins to even get there. You have to be a millionaire to be able to afford to even swim in those waters.
Exactly Brian's point. Go ahead, Donna.
I've always advocated for the recreational player. And those at the top should be asking what the recreational players want, not listening to these high rollers because they haven't got a clue. We need the recreational players playing our events, because without recreational players and bringing new people in, the high roller scene cannot bring in the amount of money that recreations do. Yeah, they play for a lot of money, but it's the recreationals that make poker, and we need to make poker great again, and it's going to happen.
Okay, Mrs. Trump. Okay, Donna. But I want to give a I,
Mapka.
I want to give a little shout out to Matt Savage because I think he stays in tune with all levels of poker players. The mere fact that he opens up his tournament directors meeting to all levels of poker players to get input says a lot about what Matt believes needs to happen. And he listens to everybody. And then he forms his opinion from the middle, right? From all of those opinions. And, I'm sure he gets a million text messages a day with opinions. And so, but the thing that sets him and even Sean McCormack aside from others is they're willing to listen to the rec player, to the advanced player, to the $1 million player, and come up with a plan of action because they're listening to everyone. It's usually a solid plan of action that everybody can be happy with, not just the top 5%. So kudos to you, Matt. Honestly.
And I saw the even though he's here, I'll say I saw the shade he was throwing at Dnegs for not going to those TDAs. He basically said like, oh, you want to make these suggestions? Then I suggest you come to the summit in 2 years.
Right on. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, like it's cool because anybody that complains, like, where were you? Like, you had the chance to be there. Like, I know I can't remember what the thing was, but like, I remember Matt Waxman was passionate about something, and the rest of the room, I don't think agreed with him, but like at least he was there, like letting them know how he felt, how he felt, and at least a certain segment of players feel about what the industry is doing. So it is really like that. This year was the first one that I've been to, Sherry, and it was really cool because in the past you felt like, wait, Daniel's in a room, or Daniel's out on the golf course with whoever, telling them what the rules should be, that and none of us have a voice. But that 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 doesn't exist with the TDA because you have the ability to come in there and say whatever you want. There was plenty of opportunity if you wanted to speak, like it wasn't just like, oh, this person can speak or that person can speak. Everybody was invited to have an open conversation about all the different topics that were covered or whatever they wanted to talk about. Just creating that open forum.
And
It really should be an example for how other sports make changes and things like that, because
well, and it was a great opportunity for the players to listen to the how do you say, behind the scenes, or the way the operators are thinking about certain situations, that it gives a better
true.
understanding that it's just not so cut and dry. 90% of the time it's not cut and dry, black and white. There are gray areas, there are other things to consider when that decision's being made, that sometimes a player gets so tunnel vision that they have this goal in mind of what they think something should be or not be. But then you sit down at the tournament directors meeting and you're like, oh, that came into play in that decision making, and guess what, I would have never thought that was part of the process. And so it really, and it's twofold. The tournament directors also get to listen to the players who say, okay, now you want to change this rule, but let me tell you about it from my point of view, why that's a great idea or not a good idea. And so it is really such a great conversation to have. And I know Matt's probably not going to want to hear this, but, and I'm sure he's addressed it in the past, but I could see that being a beneficial meeting yearly, because it was such a great meeting. But I also know that there's not enough rule changes or revisions to have that meeting on a yearly basis. So, I understand
Yeah,
why
I'm
it's
sure it's a
every other
ton of
year,
work to put on.
and it's a lot of work. Go ahead, Larry.
You hit it right on the head earlier with the sort of being out of touch. The sort of bottom up communication style in any organization or corporation or whatever is a healthy thing. The trick is to not turn it into a big bitch fest. But if you can create a communication style that allows the trenches to communicate to the higher ups about what's happening in the trenches realistically, it's always going to create healthier dynamics, I think, overall, big
Well,
picture.
and it's I agree, and it's also about you know everybody working together and seeing what the ultimate goal is for everybody and how it benefits all of us. And when you can go to the WPT at the Win and have a great time, and it runs to the player, it seems like it's running seamlessly. That doesn't mean they're not running around behind the scenes because things have popped up. That's just normal when you hold events, right? But it just is a different perspective when you're bought into what's going on, and you can say, oh, I heard about that at the TDA meeting, and I understand it better. And that is always going to be a plus for whether you're a player or an operator, for sure.
Sherry, my biggest pet peeve is that they want you to do like special stuff with your chip racks. Like, I just want to chuck that thing in the aisle, Sherry.
No
Like,
chucking of praise.
that
That's
should be totally allowed.
that's how I got hit in the head with one last year. I got hit.
Wait, don't you get an extra 20,000 chips if you can hit Matt in the head with it? I thought that was the thing.
Listen, those don't feel good when they're hitting you in the head. Trust me, I know firsthand. But yeah, love it, love it, love it.
So I have a question. Just sitting here thinking about it while everybody's randomly talking. What do we think prompted Daniel to make his tweet now anyway? Do you think it was in some way related to the whole Bonomo and his scarf issue, or was it just some random thing that he came up with?
I don't know. When I read it, I too was questioning why. What is like? I couldn't see the point. Like, why is this right now a spotlight?
Like, I can see that being like a response or like a snarky sort of attack on, well, if we're going to say, because I know Daniel's political and I don't remember which side he falls on because I don't pay attention to it. But like, I know that like the Bonomo scarf thing became a huge deal, and like maybe it's in response to that. Like, if we're going to start limiting what people can and can't do, let's limit all these other things too. Like, I'm just trying to,
It could
break
be.
down.
It
I'm
I,
trying to
could
I,
break
be.
down how it even came up.
I I think Savage tweeted
actually,
about the one chip thing first, and then he responded to that, and then he's like, "Well, if we're going to talk about rules, this is and the one chip thing. This was
Oh, got it. It just let the floodgates go. Got it. I guess I need to go back and read it all. I've been busy. So I just kind of like just skimmed over it and I was like, okay, the car protector one, no. No, 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 no. Simply because it does have a function at the table. If you're in seat 1 or 9, and you guys have ever had that happen to you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, and how many
How about if we just get rid of seat 1 and 9, Sherry?
yeah. Hey, they already got rid of seat 10. You know, give them an inch, they're going to take a mile.
There
Well,
you
and some
go.
of the old European televised poker, it looked more like a blackjack table, and it wasn't the full oval, and they did deal out to the opposite them and didn't have anybody right next to the dealer. That was a thing at one point.
Right, right. Well, welcome to the panel, Matt Savage. I guess you've had of listening to us.
Why do you need 2 card protectors?
Well, I don't. That's why I said you could limit it. I have no
You
problem.
said 2. Why do you need 2?
Well, I don't.
What's the point of having 2?
I don't. I just said that was a suggestion that you could limit it to 1 or 2. I only have
One
one.
for each card, Matt. One for each card.
Well, then you would need 4 if you play the Omaha's variations.
Well, and if you do ever ban card protectors, you have to allow Doyle's kids to bring his little Casper thing there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The reason why they're saying that is for the cameras, not for any other reason.
Okay, got it. Got it. And I
But yeah, Daniel's doing this because I've been bringing up rules and things that are coming up and stuff like that. But that one chip rule is going to be a real hassle. People don't realize how big of a deal that is.
No, I certainly don't. And honestly, I just take the point of view of, hey, they're my chips. I'm going to put them in or not to the way I want to.
There's going to come a time where everybody is raising all but one chip. Promise you, it's going to happen.
But that's okay. That's poker. That's their chips.
So why don't you like it?
But the problem is it creates a lot of other issues.
Only if people are not paying attention.
No, not always, because you see people put out all their chips. You're sitting on the other end of the table. You don't even realize that they have one chip left.
They're like hiding that other chip.
Daniel's opening it up to angles because he says it's a free roll, because what can happen is somebody could not know that you're not all in and then open up their cards. And if you're drawing dead, then you just fold and save your one chip. And with big blind ante, you're gonna, X whatever the amount of chips you have plus the ante. So it makes sense to do that.
Okay, so today it's 1 chip. Is tomorrow going to be if you have 3 chips
No,
left
I mean,
or 5
the Poker
chips
Stars
left?
has already changed their rule.
Yeah,
Poker Stars has already
that
changed their
doesn't
rule.
make it right. Just because someone else did it. I'm going to talk to you like my.
So what is Poker Stars doing?
If you leave one chip behind there, making you be all in.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah,
I don't know what
ridiculous.
the solution is, but
because then tomorrow it'll be like, well, if you have, they're going to save 3 chips tomorrow. Oh, now we got to change the rule to 3 chips because now instead of 1, they're doing 3 chips behind.
well, part of the problem too is that the dealer's not really supposed to say anything, right, Matt? So, because I get mad
but
when the dealer goes, "Oh, you're not all in. You're not all in. Oh, hey guys, he's not all in."
Yeah, but
It's
at the
like,
same token, if the dealer doesn't throw out the all in button, then that person's not all in. So are you actually paying attention?
right. Well,
you say that, it happens all the time.
I don't disagree.
Don't.
I don't disagree.
And then there's a situation where a guy says, I'm betting 200,000, and they say, how much do you have left? I have 225. And then they say, okay, and they put out 225, and then they're going to say, oh, that's not a legal raise.
Yeah, we brought that up earlier.
Yeah.
And it needs to be a legal raise. I mean, again, that's the player should, the player is doing that. It's not, you have to have a legal raise if there's people behind you, right?
I'm talking heads up. I'm not talking multi-way.
Okay, so heads up, if they go, Why not just shove? Again, that's up to the player. Why take that or have them count the chips? I need an exact count, right? Oh, you can't because they're not all in, right?
No, you say to the player, how many do you have? What do you have left? 225. And then the player throws out 225.
Well, and I'm saying the player should be just shoving all in to cover
Why?
whatever chips that player has left behind him.
I don't know about that.
Well,
Wow,
should
it
they
If
said
they
they
should
shove.
be
say
You
they
allowed
put
have
to?
them all in.
225 behind, yeah, and if
What's
they
that?
say they have 225 behind, and in fact they have 250, now you're inviting even more confusion with them being able to make it without it being a legal race.
Right. So just go all in. As the player that wants to shove them, make them go all in, you just say all in. So no matter how many chips that person has, they're going to be all in.
I'm just saying, if you see this more often than you think. When
I
somebody says,
don't
how
disagree.
much is that bet? And then you put in exactly that
I
amount.
don't disagree with you. I've seen it myself. I do not disagree with that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying that player, instead of saying, oh, you have 225, I'm betting 225 or raising 225 or whatever the verbiage is. Instead, they should just be saying, I'm all in. They shouldn't even ask the person. Honestly, if you got them covered and you want to shove them all in, just say, I'm all in.
Matt, they're never
Well,
going to
yeah,
get
but
rid of face
when they
coverings,
have
are they?
500 instead of 200, Sherry, like that's why
No, I
you
mean,
ask.
No, I agree, Brian, but I'm just saying.
The bad part, Sean, what happens, Matt? Because I think I know the answer to this. If I ask you how much you have and you lie and you have like 3 times what you say you had,
You say, dealer, can I get a count?
But they're not all in, so you can't get a count.
but even if like what happens in this? Oh, he dropped down to be English listener.
You must be having
Never mind.
issues. SW, go ahead. And let me just say,
Yeah, no,
Hi,
just go
SW.
ahead. Just going back. What's up, guys? Just going back to the Dnegs thing real quick. Yeah, he got butthurt. I watched his vlog. I guess Sean D put all his chips in but one. The guy ended up turning over his hand. Sean got up to 7 bigs and had a spot where he could have won a bracelet. But that should be on the player, not. Yeah, so it's something that recently popped up
well,
that's on the
but
top of his
here's the
mind.
thing,
But
SW, like you just said, it should be on the players, should be paying attention. And guess what? There was no all in button thrown, so the guy's not all in.
well, do all series have all in buttons? Because that was going to be one of my arguments too. Like,
yeah, most of them do.
I've never been
yeah, so
doesn't.
like whether to you, Matt, like whether somebody has 225 or say they have 225, they put in 200. I mean, if you watch all the high rollers, particularly the Tritons, like Stevie Chidwick, he does that all the time, and then someone puts it in on him, and he's got to throw the chip in, right? I mean, I think we're
Right, but that's such a
overcomplicating this.
high level of
Well, but isn't that? I mean, you tell me, you know better, but I feel like that's a high level move to begin with. I mean, when I'm watching you'll see it at like 3Ks and up, but I mean, in the high
when
roller scene,
you
it's
see
standard.
Daniel Negreanu telling people that they should do this, next thing you know, all the players are going to start doing it. I promise you.
Who cares if
Well,
they're
that's the
tipped?
problem, right? He's got so much influence over rules. It's a little
He
bit
he
much.
doesn't have any influence over rules, none. Although he did get one rule removed, but he doesn't have any influence over rules. He doesn't have any influence over rules, but he gets
You
the
don't
hit.
think you don't think his opinion carries weight if he's in Jack Effel's ear?
That's different.
Not for rules,
That's different though than what Matt's.
for
Yeah,
schedules and structures,
yeah,
more for the WSOP for sure. But I'm saying not for rules itself, right?
right.
Right.
He doesn't get rules changed. I mean,
Well, he
I
doesn't come
did.
to the TDA, so.
He did one time.
So Matt, is that the only reason people are doing it? Is because they can angle the person and try to
No,
get?
there's different reasons for doing it. There's like 3 different reasons for doing it. Ready to go now? Huh? Okay.
And Matt, the last is
The
probably
3 reasons
angling,
for
right?
doing it are one chip has so much more value with big blind ante. You can there's one scenario where you can turn one chip into 25 chips, believe it or not. But I'll let you guys figure out when that is.
Right.
But there's one scenario where you could turn one chip into 25 chips. There's if there's a pay jump, you can leave that one chip behind. If somebody puts you all in, then you can just stall forever. If there's no clocks, if there is a clock, then you could just use all your time chips at that time. And then there's the angle side of it, where you maybe get somebody to show their cards and think because they think that you're all in, or worse. It's just there's three different reasons for that, but it's also it's not bad strategy to do that. Let's just say that,
Right.
which kind of sucks because it's annoying. It's super annoying if you're a player. It's super annoying to get called to the table for these rulings too, because it's just this one scenario that has kind of opened up into what's happening,
Right.
and it's going to happen more and more.
Well, but my point is today it's one chip. Tomorrow they're going to keep 3 chips behind. You change the rule to one chip. Tomorrow they'll keep 3 chips around. Then it'll be, they changed it to you can't keep 3 chips back. Okay, it's going to be 5 chips now. It's never going to end.
Well, I mean, the scenario when we were playing with 5Ks and 25Ks, and the scenario was she had 220, so she had four 5K. So it was more than multiple chips, but it was also smaller than the biggest chip in play, which was a 25K.
Right.
So
Interesting. I just need to give a little shout out to Tramp Stamp. I missed you coming up to the board earlier, up to the panel earlier. I'm sorry you didn't get your word in. So if you want to come back up, we'd love to have you. But
Matt, I got one thing. I went to the Golden Knights game. Man, what an opening! If you guys go, don't miss the opening. Like everybody's like, you got to get there on time. It's like, okay, whatever.
Don't rub it in, Brian. Don't rub it
Yeah.
in.
Donna was trying to get to that Golden Knights game, but 2 days too short.
I tried everything to get her to stay, but she wouldn't stay.
I know that's right. Go ahead, SW.
Next time, Matt.
I was gonna I tried to cancel the airline.
Go ahead, SW.
Yeah, no, just one last thing, and then I'm gonna run. I bet you if you polled most poker players, they would think, eliminating that where you leave a chip behind is silly. It's a part of the game, just like table talk is. But anyway, everybody have a wonderful holiday. Enjoy. I'm sure I'll see some of you before then.
Merry Christmas.
Just like table talk is. Yes, just like table talk. Table talk is allowed. You're just not allowed to say what you have in your hand. That's it. That's all I want. And it works just fine. But you're going to see a big push for that too, by the way. It's coming because Blair Hinkle brought it up yesterday.
Well, and the problem is, as always, is the implementation. If the dealer isn't making sure they're in control of the table, then, all the rules and regulations don't matter.
Well, that's the other thing. It's just like you can't open it up for people to tell other people what they have in their hand. It's just going to create
100%.
confusion and madness, honestly.
I agree. Totally. Go ahead, Larry.
And slow the game down even more, which is the other thing that I don't want.
Matt, the hoodies and the face coverings, that's never going to go away, right?
Well, I think that there should be not allowed combinations of the three. I don't want to see somebody with a face mask, a hoodie, and sunglasses. I think that should not be allowed. Yes, I think that shouldn't be allowed. But I think you're never going to outlaw masks. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, wouldn't you say 2 of the 3 would be a good solution to that?
Yeah, I mean that Jacksonville has that rule already. I think when somebody's covering up their face too much.
I agree, for sure.
But now sunglasses have these cameras and all of that stuff as well, so that's also bad. So, we came across 3 or 4 of those at the Win Series. People have the cameras in their glasses. They're not using them to cheat. It's just a new technology that people are using and wearing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could be used that way.
And, there's always somebody that's going to do that, unfortunately.
Yes. So it's all of those things, we're just out there to protect you, keep the game fun, keep the game moving, all of those things. That's why a lot of the rules are in place, and it's just all these people that are out there speaking about things like Daniel and Blair and stuff like that. Will more table talk be more fun? Yeah. Will it slow the game down? For sure. Does it make it legal to collude? It would. It would make it legal to collude. If I tell you, Sherry, don't call me, I have aces, and then I show you aces, what am I supposed to do as a tournament director?
Yeah, that's not a good precedent to start. Let's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, there's satellite scenarios too, where it makes it even worse there too. If satellites are there, obviously it's to your advantage for people not to call you. Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
you have to be aware of all those things.
All great solid points. I appreciate you coming up and chatting with us, Matt, because like I said before, it's important to have those open lines of communication and questions asked and answered and, also opinions heard, right? So thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
What's your next stop? You're taking some time off, I think, right? And then where do you go?
I'm going to the Hard Rock for a St. Jude charity event on the 16th. I'm supposed to go see Cavan down in LA on the 7th he's running a Savage Average tournament, so I'm probably going to do that as well. And he has a couple other events, so I might go play a few events down in the Gardens. And then getting ready for the new season on the World Poker Tour. So a lot of stuff coming up, but we'll have a few weeks off between now and mid-January.
Hey, I want you to, for those that don't know, I want you to tell people what the Savage Average is and where that's being held again, please. I love it.
That's going to be held at the Gardens on the 7th of January. And basically, it's because most tournaments these days turn into a crapshoot at the final table. And I believe there should be more play when you're at the final table. So it does start a little bit shallower, so it plays faster at the beginning. But as you move through the tournament, the blinds never go up once you set that certain level. And you can do it at 30, 40, 50, depending on what you want to do it at. And once you set that average, it never goes below that. So once it never goes below that, I think it's good for the players, because when you're playing for the most money, you're the deepest in the tournament as you ever were, even at the start. So, you see a lot of those tournaments, especially during the summer, where you start with 200 big blinds, and by the time you get to the final table, you have 10. So it's just one of those things that we need to do, and I'm just trying it out. It works very well. And everywhere we've done it, people have liked it. So it's not going to overtake all tournaments, of course, but it's just something new to try. And maybe, if you like it, you could do a few in your series.
It definitely has its place, for sure. I loved it. I think it's a great concept. If you haven't tried it, try to get there on the 7th of January at the Gardens and give it a shot. And I guarantee you, you're gonna walk out going, hell yeah, I would play that type of tournament again. It's really a great structure.
Did you say what the buy-in was, Matt?
I'm gonna pull up.
What's that?
Do you know? Did you say what the buy-in was, or do you know?
I think that one's 200.
Okay.
Go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah.
We'll try to make it, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh no, just saying. I'm definitely pulling up. It's on the 7th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Check it out. Come check it out. I should be there for that.
Cool.
Definitely go, you guys. Definitely go. You will not regret it. I promise you. You will not regret it. They did.
Okay.
They did it the night of at the TDA meeting, but I had to go to sleep. I had been burning that candle at both ends, so I didn't get to play it. But I missed it at the TDA, but I did play it when I was in Washington State visiting my kids. So they recommended, you guys.
Dogs going.
It's being attacked. I love it. All right. Anybody have anything they want to bring up? Because I know Bathwaters is trying to go take a bath.
So am I.
Donna is too. Oh, Bathwaters, you can make some profit today.
I had to get out of the bath.
Oh, I love it. Well, I am going to sign off unless anybody else has anything they want to bring up. I'm going to go around the horn. So let's start with ASG. Have anything?
No, I think we covered everything. Oh, for that Savage average for the 200, what's the average that they're doing for this one?
Matt, do you know what the average is going to be for that Savage average at the Gardens? We'll see if we can.
Yeah, that's 30.
30,000.
No, 30 big ones. Thank you.
I mean, 30 big blinds. Oh my God. I was reading something at the same time. 30 big blinds. 30 big blinds, you guys. Todd Rizzo, welcome.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
What's going on, everybody?
how are you, pal?
Good. Hey, I got a question for Matt, real quick, and this may or may not have been answered in the last few days, but if so, I didn't hear it. But is there going to be another free roll next year in December, um, similar to the Gold, or was that just a one-time promotion for the WPT Gold?
Good question. His dogs may be chewing him up alive right now. We'll have to give him a minute.
Oh yeah.
And what was with that structure? When I get a free roll, Sherry, I want a good
All right,
structure,
Kessler Jr.
or just forget it.
I
Actually
told
kidding.
Software when we were in Vegas that I'm going to start calling him Kessler Jr. because he's borderline.
Unbelievable. I can. I was like, what? I, I felt really dumb because I'm always like, hey, you don't understand. He's nice. He's like, he's just that guy. But like that was inexcusable. Like I just no, you
For
can't do
just point of reference for everybody, Software was upset that Kessler was calling out Matt about the structure for the $5 million free roll. Like, it's a free roll. Why are you complaining? But anyway, here we are. Matt, are you there, buddy?
I am. Yeah, it's too early to tell what's going to happen with that free roll. Obviously, they've said that if things go well, we'll be doing more and more of those. So that's all I can tell you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Appreciate that. All right, John Robertson, you have anything you'd like to bring up or add?
Nope, just everybody have a good Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate and enjoy time with your family if you have them. And that's all I got.
Thank,
Play some cards while you got time.
thank you, sir. Brandon, your turn.
Good space, Sherry. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Isaac, what about you?
Everybody have a good weekend. Everybody have a blessed holiday, and hope y'all get what you want for Christmas.
Amen. And don't forget, this time of year is difficult for many. So if you're having a hard time, reach out to me. I have a big shoulder you can lean on, and that goes probably for everybody in this space. You can probably contact any of us, and we'll be happy to listen, help out any way we can. So let's not forget that. Larry, any additional information or comments?
Yeah, I charge for those kind of sessions. Just FYI, Sherry. Just I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I want to just thank you for hosting and wish everyone a peaceful and happy holidays. That's all. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Larry. All right, Riz, you got anything, buddy?
Bengals are up 17-0 at halftime.
Nice. Who are they playing?
Cleveland, nobody.
Oh, the cross state rival. I love it. Well, good luck to your team, bud. I'm glad they're winning. Software. Any last words?
I'm headed over to the Raider game. I think they're giving out tickets for like a stick of gum and 20 cents.
Can of cream
So they're
corn.
playing Yeah, they're playing the Jaguars, which I guess are not very good this year
God
either.
rest
So
in peace,
it
Belky.
should be an exciting game.
You can't be going to visit Tiger without me software. Come on, that was bullshit. I knew right away when I saw that picture. I was like,
Oh
he's
yeah,
with software. Damn.
yeah,
And me.
yeah,
And Donna.
yeah,
Right, Donna. Tell him.
I'm going to kick
yeah.
your ass.
Yeah, it was fairly tasty.
Yeah.
We had some good food.
Yeah. Hello. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Brian, and your family.
Ate too much,
Donna,
which I haven't been doing. Thank you.
absolutely. Donna, what you got? Anything, my love?
This is hard. Hang on. Give me a minute.
Ay, ay, ay. Don't do this to me. Brian did that to me the other day, and I don't think I ever cried so ugly on a space before in my life, Brian. As that day you did that to me, but I appreciated your kind words.
Well, Sherry,
I
you
haven't got Todd
deserve
and
it.
Wolfie to
You
save me
mean
this
a
time.
lot.
I ain't got Wolfie and Todd to save me this time. I just want to say thank you so much for Vegas, Sherry.
You bet.
And thank you to everybody who made my trip. Too many names to mention. A special shout out to Todd and Wolfie stopping me fucking ugly crying at airport. And yes, you can kidnap me anytime, my darling. I've told you that before. And next time I'll bring your handcuffs back. But Sherry, it's been a blast. I'm overtired, over emotional. And also thanks to Brian and his mum and everybody who I interacted with in Vegas. It was amazing. It was like a month to 6 weeks all packed into one. To Matt Savage, my bad Santa trying to get my air flights cancelled so I could go to a Vegas Knights game. To everybody that's commenting on Spotted Dick, drop into my DMs and just put your orders in for next time. Because I'm getting feedback like that people like it, so it seems to be a thing now. So it looks as though I'm stuck with it. But I just want to say thank you for your hosting skills, bringing me along for the ride, Sherry, and have a very Merry Christmas, everybody. And for God's sake, if you've got any problems, drop into my DMs. I need it. Seriously, I need it to keep myself out of trouble this Christmas. So Merry Christmas,
Sure.
everybody. Happy holidays, whatever. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive, and just have fun. Oh, and don't argue over the remote control.
I love it.
Sherry, I gotta say, Sherry, I thought Donna was gonna come kidnap Grandma and take her out and cause some super big havoc in the town there. I thought I was gonna have to call the authorities to, make sure nothing crazy
Well,
too
I'm just going
crazy
to tell you,
happened
Donna already
because
started a list
yeah.
for their antics the next time Donna's in town and your mom's in town. So just be ready.
Oh, me and your mum's already got that one sorted. I've said next time I'm over, me and your mum's going out, and we're going to see who can get locked up first.
Have the bail ready. Have the bail money ready, Brian. Todd Rizzo, you had your hand up. Go ahead, bud.
No, I was just gonna add on to the drinking and driving thing. Do not drink and drive over the holiday. I was working last night. We had someone go the wrong way on the highway and get killed. So it happens. Do not do it. Get an Uber. Have somebody pick you up. Anything but get behind the wheel. So
Amen.
Yeah.
Call a friend to pick you up if you don't want to take an Uber. Just don't get behind
right.
the wheel. There's no excuse to get behind the wheel, people. Come on. Together we avoid this.
We're like 3 years away from the car being able to drive itself, guys. Just
That's true.
don't ruin it now.
Fuck
Don't ruin it
Tesla.
now. You got
Anyway,
Uber.
take an Uber, people. Take an Uber. Listen, thank you for all your kind words, but mostly thank you for your friendships and thank you for your support. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, have a great great New Year's. Have a Merry Christmas. Please don't drink and drive. There's no excuse, honestly. Again, reach out if you need to. And, you know, people are here for you for sure. I appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you and have a Merry Christmas. Bye, everybody.